Right, we are here. We should be good to go. Let's just double check everything is here and ready to go. Dice is set up, that's set up, that's set up. All the players are here. We are good to go. Let's switch over. Everyone's here. I've still got this thing in my mouth. Everyone's here. Webcams look nice. Hello, everyone. We're live and we are good to continue.
Whoa.
Is everyone good to go?
Yay! We're
Yep.
good.
Woo!
Let me just double check this. Yeah, that's off a little bit, but that's fine. There, yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Right, so last week, if you recall, you guys had you spent most of the session inside your tower section of the Hydra's alehouse. Some shenanigans had ensued where Coralina had spent quite some time, 7 hours to be exact, getting a new spell copied and memorized into her spellbook for her to use. While she was doing that, there were some strict instructions in place with Barclay left to entertain you all, to not disturb her while she could get all of this done. And while this was all going down, drunken shenanigans ensued. Barclay started to say things he probably shouldn't have, managing to fall over backwards and have to have a prince pick him up and help him back to his lady's room. Before you all finally manage to come finish off your shenanigan session with a long rest. In the morning, you made your way down, got some ordered some breakfast. Before you could head out and start working on the jobs, the potential rumors that you've heard throughout Whitestone already, there was some more issues that arose when a certain someone, not naming any names, let loose a pack of cats inside Coralina's bedroom to terrify the Bloodhawks or Barclay. So Barclay, managing to evade the feline predators, kind of drew all of your attention to Coralina's room. And Coralina, when you went up to check in on everything that happened, realizing that you'd left your spellbook open on the desk inside the room where all the cats had been summoned, going inside, you realized that the cats had in fact torn out several pages of your book, which had been the last few pages of the plane shift spell that you'd been copying down and memorizing into your spellbook. Therefore, you no longer have it at your disposal, I'm afraid, until you relearn it and recopy it into your spellbook. And that was actually about where we left off. So, you've got the entire morning left to you all. What do you guys want to do?
From last session, I locked myself back up in my room.
Yes, you did. Barclay is there with you. He has been told to remain silent while you you try and get the spell sorted and not explode with utter rage.
Okay.
Will it take her less time to copy the spell down?
Nope. It will be 7 hours.
Because it's the second time she's doing it now, so
It's 7 hours.
Memorize it.
7 hours.
I don't know if you realize this, but like the cats tore those pages to fucking shreds.
Mm-hmm.
And there was fresh ink there, so all the cats have like walked on it and smeared the shit out of it.
So it is going to be tear those pages out and start from the beginning. 7 hours of copying it down. And this is actually the least amount of time that Coralina will take to copy that spell. Because if it was a different school, it would be 14 hours. So Coralina is currently locked in her bedroom, not speaking to anyone. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Well, I guess we're not going to the air dimension today then.
Well, I'm going to be because we had breakfast and stuff, didn't we?
Yep,
So
you've had breakfast and stuff, so you are ready to
blissfully
go out.
unaware of the seriousness of what's happened. I'm just going to be waiting downstairs with all my gear ready, wondering where the hell everyone is and why we're not getting going yet.
Okay. Neftari, what are you doing?
I am muttering about stupid bloody pigeon. Absolutely nothing but trouble. I would probably notice that Vic's gone and head down to find him.
Well, he's in the tower down in the common room. You haven't left the tower yet, so you can
Is our-
reconvene with Victorlus down in the common room area.
If our intention is to leave, then we should get the old group back together and head on out. Although I never was entirely sure what we decided to do. Perhaps we were going to hunt this proposed werewolf or explore the rest of the...
Well, I think we're all agreed that the best way to gain favour with the Lord and Lady is to rid the town of this werewolf. But judging from last night, we've got a couple of days before a full moon, so...
Does it have to be a full moon?
And you can go ahead and roll me a nature check if you want to
Absolutely.
determine that, Temple.
I thought we'd found out that there wasn't actually necessarily a werewolf and it was just kids talking.
Well, the rumor was kids that were talking, and the tavern owner Shakad, he had said that there's a solid chance that it could just be kids like making up stuff for the fun of it to cry wolf essentially, but there's not been any confirmation that it is just a rumor. So you would have to go out and do some investigation of your own to determine whether or not it is actually just a rumor and whether it's true or not. On a 11 Temple, you have actually run into a lycanthrope before. Back in a cry, near Steam Scar was the den of the werewolf who named himself Caleb. He turned out to be a Order of the Lycan Blood Hunter. So it's possible that a werewolf can shift from a human form to their hybrid form at will, but a full moon is 9 times out of 10 a forced transformation.
I just worry if we wait until a full moon, that could already be too late for lives lost. Surely there's a way of detecting a werewolf. Perhaps it's smell, Neftari. Can you smell a werewolf pre-transformation?
I don't know. Can I DM?
Your senses are more attuned than your companions, with your being a B-side, but you've never really gone out of the way to try such a thing, to use scent to track something. It's possible, but you won't really know until you put it into practice.
What we need is a lead. Maybe you can smell something out. If you could, perhaps we could, like one of those sniffing dogs. Maybe you'd be able to track the scent of something. But we need a lead. We need some idea of where to go. Because if there's a werewolf living in this town, presumably among society, they're probably going to go off somewhere before the transformation because they probably don't want to hurt people. And what are we supposed to just follow the sounds of howling wolves? We need to know where this werewolf's den is tracking, so that we can track it, I should say.
If our old friend Caleb is anything to go by, there's a good chance that they won't be living in the city at all. If I remember rightly, he was somewhat of a recluse and lived in a cabin in the woods. So perhaps someone knows of a similar person who lives around here.
I certainly don't, but I'd like us to go around and perhaps follow some line of inquiry. We can't just go out and expect to find one. I mean, surely someone knows. Some mother's been widowed or something. There must be victims if there are rumors, surely.
I could turn into a dog or even a pig. They've both got good senses of smell. I'm sure I could.
But would you know what you're smelling if we can't find something that smells of this particular like, how would you know it's a werewolf you're spelling unless you were regularly exposed to?
Unless I turn into a dog and go around and smell a few of the dogs, would give me a kind of canine hint.
I don't quite fancy the idea of following a dog around town as it finds a mate.
I was actually looking forward to it.
Spend an hour watching you sniff dog butts. Doesn't
I
appeal.
tell you what, Neftari, after we find and defeat the werewolf in a way that, is hopefully beneficial for everyone, maybe even cure them, we'll spend a whole night doing Neftari stuff.
Well, that's something to look forward to.
It is. I've never personally met a dog, and you could translate for me.
Let's just walk in town and see what we find. I mean, there's always that bow we could go looking for as well. If there's any interesting shops around.
Maybe there's a mayor or something. Someone must have ideas.
I'm thinking the same. A mayor, we could try at the temple. I'd imagine if there'd been some kind of attack or death by a werewolf, then those at the temple would probably have an interest.
A town this size will have some law enforcement as well. I'll go
Maybe.
and when the cops show up, we could ask them.
We could split up and narrow down our search, perhaps. I could perhaps go with Talar. You could go with Victoralis. We could go up and get Friend. Sometimes names just disappear from my head. Coralina.
The wizard will remember this.
I once briefly forgot the word for human.
She's not human, though.
Well, I think we should all at least be present before we head out for the day. Where is everybody?
So
Do you have any ideas, Talar?
So the four of you, Victorious, you're actually currently in the common room. The only one that is not present at the moment is Coralina, who's gone on into her bedroom. With your passive perception of a 21, you can hear the sound of it's muffled, but as you kind of point your ears towards the upper floor, you hear what sounds like the splinting of wood, and then a couple of dull thuds across the roof above you before there's a subtle sound of running water.
Sorry,
So, what was it the last bit? Sorry.
The subtle sound of running water.
Something noisy going on up there.
do the rest of us hear it or not?
Let's take a look. No. Yeah, Talar, you do with a passive of 19. You can hear what's going on upstairs as well. Nathari 17, Temple 15. You guys don't hear it. And so again, the kind of splinting of wood. It doesn't necessarily sound like breaking, but maybe like something made of wood opening. It's dulled out through the floor. Dull footsteps moving back across the floor before there is the sound of running water.
Feeling it may be best to leave her alone for a while.
Let's see if
Really?
she's coming out. I think she's a bit upset about the spell book, really.
Well, you did summon cats and your cats destroyed her spell, so yeah, I think she's upset.
One of us should certainly go talk to her.
I don't think
Okay.
now is a good time.
I head up the stairs
Okay.
and knock on Corlena's door.
What did I just say?
Talar, someone needs to tell her where we're going at least.
Corlena, we're gonna head out now. Are you coming?
No response.
Are you okay?
No response.
That's weird. You're worrying me.
Nothing.
Guys, I can't hear anything. I don't think she's there.
Is everything all right up there, Neftari? Do you need help?
I'm not sure. Corlena, please.
Oh, Carolina's in danger. I'm going to run up the stairs.
Okay. Temple takes off, running up the stairs. Victorless and Talar, what are you guys doing? You just sitting by and watching this unfold?
I am gonna
She's
let out
sitting
a
on the
deep
couch. Like, yeah, she's sitting on one of the couches, just
You really want to
her
leave?
hand across her
Whatever's
face,
about to happen
waiting
in
for the
that.
sound of the door
Of
flying
Temple and
open
Neftari.
and her, like, probably smacking him against the wall or something. She's just waiting for something like this to happen.
Okay. And Victorless, were you just
Just-
letting out a
I'm
sigh
gonna-
and...
Yeah, I'll just be basically resting on my bow, little bit of a sigh. I really, Vic doesn't understand what the big deal is here at all.
He just looks over at Talar. Kids these days.
Like
Mm.
time for him is a very different perspective. So he, it's just like, just write it back in the book. He genuinely doesn't understand what the fuck is the problem is. So he's just resting, basically,
Okay.
chin on his bow, waiting for the drama that's about to happen.
And Temple definitely just hasn't thought that far ahead.
And Temple, what are you doing when you get up the stairs and you're under the impression that apparently Coralina is in trouble? There's no response coming from her bedroom.
You're baiting me to kick that door open.
No, absolutely not.
No.
It was a consideration of mine. I thought I actually assumed that would be the first thing you were going to do, just walk up to her bedroom door and kick it down. But I'm genuinely asking you, what are you going to do?
As soon as I get up them stairs, very, very loudly bang on that door. Coralina, are you decent? Are you alive? Are you okay?
No response.
Be ready, Neftari. Right foot.
Strength check. Strength check, please.
Talar's just gonna look up at
Okay.
Victoralis with this look of, oh shit.
Meanwhile, Neftari's going, you could try the handle first.
No, I'm thinking
He's-
I'm thinking the kidnappers are the bounty hunters are back and trying to.
13 with an
I've got my
ear splintering smash. You punt open the door, almost managing to break it off of its hinges. The lock splintering and cracking open, the actual latch buckling outwards as it bends in the latch and breaks open. As you rush it in the door, the window that is open to the northwest, where you can see the flowing browns and reds of the rooftops of all the buildings within Whitestone, is exposed to you. The salvage remains of her spellbook is there on the table by the window.
Is the full spell book there, or just the missing pages?
The full spell book is there. The missing pages, as you can taking a thorough, quick look around, they have been bundled up, scrunched up, and tossed into a nearby trash can. You can see an inkwell and quill kind of resting at the side. The bed seems to be made, but there's no immediate location of Carolina.
And having not been able to see Carolina, I'm gonna rush to the window and look out and see if I can see Carolina.
You can't see. Actually, you want go ahead and roll me a perception check. Natural 20, yeah. You don't see Carolina, but you do see a very familiar looking figure about 100 feet into the air as what looks to be Sir Barclay has taken off and is flying towards the clouds.
Coward! I'm gonna run downstairs. Natari, quick, come downstairs.
I'm going to jump for the window and turn into probably turn into the same bird.
Okay, turn into a Bloodhawk, yep.
Aerial pursuit.
Alright, Neftari, as you do that, but before you jump out the window, go ahead and roll me a perception check. Let's see if you can see Barclay as well. Through the mass of other birds that are in the area and the cloud cover.
Wrong chat.
That was the, wrong chat. There you go. 1. 13. You can just make Barclay out. He's heading off to the far northwest, just below the cloud cover, gliding along. Not really, it doesn't, like from what you can tell, he's not urgently flying anywhere, but he is just soaring around. So you can, if you want, wild shape into a Bloodhawk and take off after him if you'd like.
Alright, if he's just flying around, then he doesn't look like he's in pursuit of someone.
No, he's like just off the 13. As you're tracing him through the air, now contemplating the wild shape to chase after him, you actually see he levels out and begins to slowly glide around, almost as if he's taken in the view, almost maybe scouting.
Okay, I look around the rest of the room. There's no sign of Carolina at all.
There's no sign of Carolina. The bed has been made. There is a fresh set of clothes that have been set out at the kind of foot locker at the bottom of the bed. Very nice, Kayla. I appreciate that. There's a fresh set of clothes that is set out at the foot locker. And other than that, it's like the bedroom's completely empty. It's no sign of Carolina.
Am I downstairs yet?
You are down the stairs, yes.
They got Carolina! They got Carolina!
So at this point, my attention will spike up and I'll immediately run outside and see if I can see any sign of
So
people.
are you going up to your room to get out into the balcony and take a vantage point look, or are you going down and out through the to the streets?
I think I'd be running down and out into the streets.
And down and out into the streets.
Given
right?
that we heard that sound, but a minute ago, I would assume that if someone had taken her, that I would be able to catch up with them and
All right.
see some trace.
As
I
you
still hear the sound of running water.
no, the sound of running water has stopped. As you as Temple comes down screaming, "They got Carolina! They got Carolina!" Vic, you perk up. You're no longer resting your chin on the one of the arms of your bow. You grab it. You immediately sling your secure your quiver over your shoulder, and with your elven agility, book it down through the stairwell connecting the tower to the main structure of the building. out through the main foyer of the Hydra's Ale House. Kind of glance over to Shakad, who gives you a kind of curious look as you go booking out, and the moment you get into the alleyway, well, into the main street, go ahead and roll me a perception check. 26. You see no sign of Coralina.
Can I make my way round to the side that her window would be?
Yeah, you make your way around, and I'll still use that in 26 as you're perceiving the area, trying to find anything. You get to the backside of the structure. The tower would be above, about where Coralina's window would be. You look to the ground. There doesn't seem to be any splintered wood, like a sign of a breakout or break in. There's no rope. There's nothing connecting like a nearby building to the tower or anything like that. And as you kind of look around, there's no sign of anyone that's been kidnapped or anything like that.
Talara's gonna head the opposite direction and go up towards her room.
Okay, up to your own room or
Her room. Sorry.
Carlina's room?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, you
See if you
head.
can see any signs of struggle or anything up there.
Yes, you. Netharia, you're not well shapen and going after Barclay at this point.
I'm going to try and fit out of the window. How big's the window?
I mean, it's quite a big window, so I mean, you could quite easily like step up onto the window frame. It'd have to be like you'd have to step and push your head and most of your up to your shoulders out of the frame, but you'd be able to stand up on the in the window frame. Talar, that is what you see as you come into Coralina's room. Nithari is there at the window, looking out over the rooftops of Whitestone. As you glance around, let's take a quick look here. Passive investigation, 11. It doesn't really seem like there's much of a struggle. With Temple saying they got Coralina, you would assume that someone's broken in to kidnap your companion. There's no sign of broken wood or anything like that. The only breakage into the room has been what Temple has done by kicking the door in, but the window seemed to have been unlocked from the inside and opened. You can
Are there any other doors leading into this room?
There is one other door, which you could assume to be the bathroom.
Of course, I didn't notice that, did I? No, of course not.
No, I mean, you just
But it's
saw.
all worth the fan service.
She's going to walk over to that door and kind of lean towards it to try to listen, see if she hears anything in there.
Nothing. I'm not even going to have you roll for it. You hear absolutely nothing coming from within the bathroom.
Try and climb
She's
out
gonna
the
go ahead
window.
and knock on the door.
Yeah,
Corlina, are you in there at all?
nothing at all.
Hmm. I have her test the handle. See if it's locked or unlocked.
Carolina, did you lock the door?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, you test the door and it clicks open. And give it
She's not gonna swing it wide open.
Yeah.
She's just gonna very
slowly push it open and take a peek inside. You can see the bathtub that's off to one side, curtain kind of slightly drawn around it. Water seems to be filled almost to the brim. There's some like scattering of like previously worn clothes it's over on the ground, but still no immediate sign of Coralina.
she in there?
She's gonna kind of lean in a little bit more, see if she can kind of see just a little bit around the curtain, but she's not gonna make a whole lot of noise or
Yeah.
anything.
As you kind of take a single step in and glance around the curtain, how far in are you going? Are you just
Just
to see around
half a
the
step,
curtain,
like just
or
kind of see if she can even see like maybe hair or anything, like any
no,
like
nothing?
nothing.
As you take that half step and kind of peek around the curtain, maybe she's just there and is just fallen asleep in the bathtub, and she can't. That's why she can't hear you and hasn't been responding. She's fallen asleep. Nothing. You glance over the bathtub's full. You can see the gentle ripples of the water on the surface, almost at the edge of the tub itself, but no sign of Coralina.
Hmm.
Neftari, what are you doing while Talara's doing this?
She hasn't answered that she's found her. I'm going to try and get out of the window.
Okay. You going? Are you going to? What do you want to do outside the window? Get onto the roof? Or are you going to wild shape? Or what's the plan?
I'm just going to get onto the roof and
All right. Go ahead
see what I can see up there.
and roll me either an athletics check or an acrobatics check, whichever you would prefer to do. You can either deftly climb your way up, or you can brute force it. Acrobatics. Go ahead and roll me a dex save. On a 5. As you kind of you turn around in the door frame and look up, and you can see where the window frame comes to a point, and you think to yourself that that'd be a perfect handhold, so you could kind of climb up to that, use that to pull yourself up, and then kind of climb up the outside of the roof to get a better vantage point. You jump up and try and grab it, graze it with your fingers, and as you try and get a grip, your hand just comes clean loose. You fall down. Your feet thankfully land back inside the window frame. As you then lose your balance and start to tumble backwards. Go ahead and roll me another dex save. Yeah, no. As you Talar, you hear this. At the last minute, you turn around and see Neftari fall as he makes a jump, drop and loses balance backward and tumble backwards outside of the window. Neftari, you are what? You take 14, 20, 25. That's right. You take 28 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall from the tower and hit to the back. Victorious, you've actually got a perfect view of this as you're taking a look around. You take a glance up, and there's just suddenly a mass falling towards you. You take 2 steps back, and there's a dull, very painful sounding thud as Neftari face plants the deck immediately before you. Neftari taking 28 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall.
Fuck. I'm gonna immediately run up to him. I'm gonna kneel down and I'm gonna cast a 2nd level Cure Wounds.
2nd level Cure Wounds. Go right ahead and do so. Roll that as 2d8 plus 1, please.
As you would have been falling out the window, Talara would have turned around and ran over to the window to look down and see what was going on.
Okay, sorry, you regenerate 9 HP. Talara, as you run to the window and look down, you see the very violent impact as Neftari just kind of face plants the deck and comes to a sudden stop. But you do see Victorious kind of rush over and make sure he's all right. While this is all going on,
Who's up there?
while this is all going on, Temple, what are you doing?
Panicking.
panicking. Are you follow? Did you want to follow Victorless out, or did you want to go back up with the Talar and Neftari?
At this point, I have resigned myself to. As far as I'm concerned, Coralina has been taken out of that window and she's gone, and we need to get her back. And I don't want to lose another friend. So yes, I'm going to follow Victor up.
You'll be following Victorless, all right. So we'll say for the sake of brevity, go ahead and roll me another perception check yourself as you help like you're assisting Victorless try and find Corlina. On a 9, no, you're more kind of, it's slowly getting to you, dawning on you that you might have just lost another friend. You've not like it's been like a few months since Richmond departed, but you don't want to lose another. You don't want to lose another friend. And as you like follow Victorless into the alleyway,
Warforged ugly cry.
you see the splattered form of Neftari on the ground as Victorless kind of kneels down to him and casts the Cure Wounds on him.
Am I too high up to cast Healing Word at 60 feet?
60 feet, yes. It was a 70-foot drop.
Okay.
It's a D6 per 10-foot fallen, so you took 7d6 of damage there.
Okay.
That was well below average.
Come on,
actually.
Neftari, we don't have the time to die as a result of our injuries. Get up, get up.
She's gonna yell down, is Natari okay?
Oh, you should have seen the other guy.
Who's in there, Natari? What are we facing here?
Wait, what? Oh,
Who threw you out of the window?
fuck. I don't know.
Can I hear this conversation?
Go ahead and
From
roll a perception check. Let's see if you can hear it. 24. Yeah, you can just make it out.
She's gonna yell down, he slipped out the window.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
There's nobody
that.
attacking up there then.
She's gonna shake her head.
2 of them.
Now, Natari, you may have concussion, but I need you to answer me straight. Talar, who's up there? Who threw him out the window?
No one.
He fell out the window.
She's gonna nod.
You just see the disappointment on Adam's face, like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm gonna help Neftari to his feet.
Yeah, you do so.
Talar's gonna
side
back
of
away from the
Coralina.
window. She's gonna back away from the window and then go back like towards the bathroom door.
Yeah.
And knowing that she's a wizard, would Talar have the kind of common sense that she might have the ability to kind of cloak herself?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. Natural 20. Let's take a quick look here. Now, you know, as a as you've spent your time with Coralina, that a wizard definitely has the ability to cast an invisibility spell. So she is probably well within her capabilities of doing so, but you've never actually seen her cast invisibility on herself or anyone else.
Okay.
She has used polymorph in the past, so it's a possibility that like she may have like attempted something and managed to polymorph herself into something really, really small. But you've never physically seen her cast invisibility. It's well within her capabilities, and you know that, but you've never seen her cast it.
Okay. Well, she's going to just kind of stick her head back in the door, and not seeing her, she's going to kind of make the assumption maybe she hit herself or something using magic. So that tells her right there that she really doesn't want to be disturbed. So she just kind of looks around a little bit. I don't know if you're in here, but everyone else is worried about you. They think you got taken away. But I understand that you very likely need time alone, and I did try to tell them that. And Neftari ran up and decided to try and see if you're okay. But I'm going to close the door, and I will do my best to cover for you for now. She's gonna pull out of the bathroom and gently close the door, and then walk back downstairs.
All right. And before you do, like, close the door, I will say this: there is no response whatsoever. On your nat 20, if she has made herself invisible, she's doing a really damn good job of keeping herself quiet. Visibility just makes you invisible to the naked eye. It doesn't mean that you don't make any sound. But yeah, you step back out through the doorway and close the door behind you. And you're gonna now make your way down to your other companions.
Yeah, back down to the common area.
The common area.
Or depending on where the others are. I mean, I'm assuming that they'd be dragging Natari back into the common area at least, possibly.
They are currently outside, so we will transition down outside into the alleyway with the three of you. What are you guys doing after you come to the understanding that Neftari hasn't been thrown out the window, he fell out the window.
We'll start making our way back. So she's gone. No sign of kidnapping, no sign of break-in. What about Sir Barkley?
It looked like he was just flying around. I'm not sure she had been kidnapped. It didn't look like he was chasing anyone. He just looked like he was flying around like a stupid pigeon.
Well, can I look up and see if I can see Sir Barkley?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Meanwhile, I'm looking for approaching threats or a sign of anyone who might have kidnapped.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception check as well, Simple. On your 19, Victorless, you do actually catch a glimpse of what looks to be Barkley, kind of auburn brown colored feathers soaring through the air. Just like Neftari explained, doesn't look like he's on he's not flying with purpose. He just seems to be slowing around and maybe scouting the area, or might even be taking in the view. On a
How
13,
high up is he?
High up, he is probably about a good 150 feet, going on 200. He's not not up to the cloud layer, but he is quite high up above all the buildings. And on your 13 temple, doesn't seem to be anyone of any interest in the immediate vicinity. Doesn't seem to be anyone that's kind of like looking back over their shoulder or like hurrying someone like in their hands away or anything like that. Doesn't seem to be anyone aggressively approaching you all.
I'm going to shout up to Sir Barkley as loud as I can. Just shout, Sir Barkley! Just see if I can get his attention from all the way down here.
As you shout up, you do see as Barkley kind of is slowly soaring around. He does take an abrupt, sharp bank to the right and starts almost like you see his wings kind of retract in, like kind of half retract, and he kind of dives down towards you. And you watch as he enters the alleyway, swoops up, fully extends his wing, and lets his wings uses wings as air brakes and stops in his descent and his acceleration, before he glides over and gently lands on your shoulder and kind of looks at you. Yes, Prince Victorus. I heard you shouting. What seems to be the issue?
Well, I'm not sure if the reason you're up there is because Coralina's gone missing, but Coralina's gone missing.
My lady has gone missing. Oh, you must be joking. Has the Neanderthal set you up for this?
Now, Neftari's better than Neanderthal.
Oh, oh no! I now have permission from my lady to call him that because of the events prior. He is a Neanderthal and a bastard, and I will call him that. No offense, my prince.
Well, none offense taken, but more to the point, where is she? We heard a commotion, we heard some noise. The next thing, she's nowhere to be seen.
Oh, no, the last I saw her, she was in her bedroom, and she seems to still be there. If you would like, I can go up and check in on her.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Of course. You, the three of you that are in the alleyway, you know, watch as Barclay takes off from Victorious' shoulder, flies and manages to gracefully glide into the open window that was Carolina's room. About 30 seconds pass before there's a blur of brown comes swooping back down, perches up on your left shoulder this time, Victorious, and she is still there. I don't understand why you're having a bit of an issue with this.
Okay. I forgot she's actually pretty damn good at this magic lark. I don't know what she's done, but at this point I remember the door was smashed open. And I go
Sorry, say that again. You cut out there at the end.
I should probably fix the door.
Okay, so you're making your way upstairs to go and mend the door.
Yeah, I just gently pull the door to and cast my mending
Yeah,
spell.
okay, you make your way off and like you.
Talara would have been working her way down. He probably would have passed her.
Victorious, you watch Barclay, like you see Barclay kind of follow Neftari back around to the front door of the alehouse, and like, what is going on? What am I missing here?
There was a loud noise in Carolina's room.
Yes, that was her
Neftari
opening the
Temple
windows so
to
that I could.
investigate, and she was nowhere to be seen, and you were flying in the sky. We feared the worst.
Oh, it's a bit of a misunderstanding then. No, she and I have a connection where if I am out and about, as you may have seen when you were leaving the town of Whitestone, she can see and hear through my eyes and ears and use me as a scout of sorts so that she can see what I see. And sometimes when she is stressed or bored or just looking to enjoy the view, she'll send me out into the skies and perceive through me. She can't see or hear anyone from her own body, but she can see and hear through mine.
And what, this causes her to become invisible?
Oh no, she's not invisible. She was upstairs taking a bath.
Fine. You know, as long as she's still here and nobody's died, all I'm worried about is...
If my lady had... Well, I will let you know of this, of my fey being, my prince. If Coralina were to have been taken, or dead, I would not be here. If Coralina is taken to the the Oran plane, I would go with her. I cannot be summoned on a different plane of existence than my lady. And if she was dead, again, I wouldn't be here. I can't exist if she's not there to cast a spell. I can assure
Well,
you that she is definitely up there.
that's
Shall
all
we?
fine then. Please.
After you, sir, if you don't mind me. He kind of
Yep.
settles down and just relaxes on your shoulder and kind of uses you for transport. Carlina, go ahead and roll me a D. Actually, no. You know what? You're not going to roll. I'm going to roll. Call high or low.
Low.
Low. Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead, Adam. Neftari, as you kind of make your way upstairs, you pass Talar, and Talar, you see Neftari kind of urgently making his way back up the stairs. As you get to the door and you cast Mending, let me take a double check here on Mending. Single break, tear an object, chain link to a broken key, torn cloak, leaking white, wine or water skin, 1 foot in any dimension, yeah, no, you're able to, it takes a couple of casts because you've not only got the lock itself, but the latch is bent and the door frame is broken, broken and splintered. So it takes several casts. But as you're casting Mending, you do hear some the sound of kind of dripping water, draining water, and the sounds of a potential scuffle coming from the bathroom.
Clara is going to turn around and follow him up there as he's going back up to fix the door. Just
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and we'll say that you hear this as well.
She's gonna look down at Neftari. You stay, you fix that. And she's gonna go into the room and stand on the other side of the bathroom door.
Okay.
And is she able to hear what's going on in there now?
You can hear sounds of flowing water and what sounds to be like the ruffling of fabric from inside.
Corlina, I just thought I would warn you. If Neftari thought something was wrong and he tried to break down the door. Actually, Temple broke down the door, but I thought you might want to be warned so you don't come out and, after a bath.
Okay.
There was some
What?
noise and they thought something had happened and that you had been taken away or something, so I just wanted to let you know what's going on. Talar
Can I
hasn't
just
opened the door or anything, so.
Can I at least have my clothes?
I'm assuming Talar sees her clothes on the bed.
As you kind of glance around, both you and Neftari will say that you're done at this point, with the mending of the door frame. You see what would look to be a fresh set of clothes set out on the foot locker by the end of the bed.
Talar's gonna go over and grab those and look over at Neftari. If that door's fixed, please close it.
He closed it. I don't know whether he's actually stood on the inside of the door or the
You're-
outside of the door.
That's up to you. If you want to be on the inside in the bedroom, you can be on the inside of the bedroom.
We could
What do you roll for it?
Roll for it.
Roll for it. All right, cool. High or low?
Hi.
High, all right. And you want to be on the? If it is high, are you going to be inside?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right. You're calling for high for inside. That's a 51. That's a high. You're inside as you're inside the door frame. Talar tells you if that door's fixed, close it, and you just nonchalantly turn around, close the door behind you, and just stand there in the doorway with a smile on your face.
Taylor face palms for just a moment and looks up. She's like, "No, you outside the door. Leave the room. Then close the door." And she's waving a clawed finger at him.
I think
No,
Todd
out.
should roll for
Out.
what is
What
Go.
are you?
intimidation,
What are you?
maybe?
I don't like having players roll against each other, but if you're wanting to do this, Talar, go ahead and roll intimidation, and Neftari, go ahead and roll insight.
Persuasion, maybe. I don't know what.
Oh no, it'd be intimidation. So go ahead and roll insight, and let's see if like if you're, or actually no, it's not insight. Sorry, it'd be a charisma save, charisma saving throw. Yeah, no, you're not moved by her at all. If you want to leave, you can. So you're not forced by her demand to do what she asks of you. You can still do that if you want to, but because you've made the save, you can refuse her orders to leave the room if you want to.
She's gonna
He
stand
just
there and
pauses.
stare at him for as he's deciding what he wants to do.
Yeah, he eventually turns around and
You leaving? You're leaving the bedroom, yeah?
I don't know.
Or what? Are you just going to turn around and face the doorway and then just be like, no?
It's like when you open the back door for a cat to try and let them out, and they just
Yeah,
kind of
it's
look at you.
They just kind of look at you like, do I want to go outside?
There's a laser pointer when you need one.
No, I'll
Sorry.
just stay inside.
He definitely doesn't want to go, but he eventually decides that Talar's probably knows a bit more than him about this sort of thing, and he obeys.
Okay. After a few minutes of contemplation, Nestare finally opens the door and steps outside into the hallway. We'll say it's about this time that Temple, I'd say you were like while you're eating. I'm assuming you'd just be following after Victorlus. Yeah, cool. I can see you're eating, so you don't have to worry about anything. So yeah, we'll say about this time, Victorlus and Temple, you guys make your way like back into the tower, up the stairs, and you can see you see Nethari like very slowly like leave Corlina's bedroom. The doorway now fixed, and
I'm just gonna say I'm losing patience with this whole drama. So Vic would just be in the bar. He wouldn't have even gone back to the tower at this point.
Go up to the tower.
He's all he's all kitted up. He's all ready. He'd just be in the bar, sipping on an ale, sort of impatiently checking the heads of his arrows, make sure they're nice and sharp, but kind of just like, fuck's sake, come on, people,
Okay.
we've got things to do.
All right, Temple, would you be sticking with Victorlus, or would you be going into the tower?
I mean, do I know that Carolina's okay?
You, unless Victorlus has strictly relayed that from Barclay, no, you wouldn't.
Oh, so I've just sat down with a beer and just started going.
Yeah, you just sat down and like no, like I can understand Barclay fine, but Temple, nah, you can't. Why would I relay that?
Calm? Why are you so calm for
What?
this?
What she said? Why are you so calm? What about Carolina? You sit here drinking a beer.
She's fine, Temple. She's upstairs. She was doing that thing where she looks through to Barkley's eyes and obviously couldn't hear anybody.
Ooh, an opportunity to do a thing that humans do. Way over my head. No idea what you're talking about. But okay, don't know any of this wizard stuff. I'm going to, I guess, take a seat and pretend to drink a beer with you, and we'll just wait around here in this pub and wait for it all to blow over.
Barkley kind of hops from your shoulder onto the bar and glances over to the barman. And Victoria, as you hear him say, "A barman, could I get a cap, please, if you would?" And you see Chikad actually kind of turn over, look to you, Victorious, and glance down at Barkley. Like, Bloodhawk, is it with you or?
Oh yeah, he's got a bit of a drinking problem. Can you pour him a small
I
cup
do not
of
have
ale?
a drinking problem, I will have you know. What I had the other evening was quite the intoxicant, and I can handle my drink better than you can, elf.
Fine. Hold that small cup of ale. We'll be fine, thank you. I'm going to get back to my pint and just carry on sipping on my beer.
Well, I don't do caps, I'm afraid, Bloodhawk, so you're out of luck at the
Kind
moment.
of gin of a bloodhawk.
Unless your companions are willing to share, I'm not going to waste perfectly good liquor, I'm afraid. Barkley just kind of, well, I never such ungrateful. My lady were here, she'd absolutely allow me to drink. Wait, where did the Neanderthal go?
I think he said something about fixing a door. Temple, do you know anything about any broken doors?
Oh, yes. I had to perform a manual override on that door because, well, I thought Coralina was in danger. I guess Neftari's fixing the doors.
What does he mean? A manual override
Override.
of the door. What does that mean?
It means smashing it open, Barkley.
Oh no! And Barkley just immediately takes off from the bar, manages to squeeze his way through a gap in the door towards the tower, and disappears. Now, sorry, as you slowly make your way out of Coralina's room, takes a few moments, but as you're contemplating your next step, you hear the flutter of wings as Barkley comes soaring up the stairs and just kind of halts and hovers there just before you. Just glares at you before he kind of turns to the door, lands on the door handle, and just starts pecking at the door. Talar from the inside and Coralina from the inside, you can just hear a very light knocking on the door. Very light.
Would Talar be able to determine if it's Sir Barkley or
Go ahead and
someone else?
roll me an investigation check. No. For all you know, this could be Neftari trying to.
He's just changed his mind again.
Just
He's
like-
tapping
just like-
really gently.
just,
Can
it's
I
a lot.
ask if she'll let me stay?
I can come back in now, right? Please? No, you have no
Talar-
idea.
In that case, Talar's going to go back over to the bathroom door and lightly knock on the door and say, "I have your clothing," and there's a light tapping sound at your door.
I'm aware of Barkley's position, yeah?
Yes, you are always as long as he's within 100 feet of you, you're aware of his position.
I'll kind of like open the door. Very pale blue hand comes out, takes the clothing, switches hands, and then with just a flick of the wrist, mage hand to open the door.
Okay. That's sorry, the door's just open before you. What are you doing?
No,
Oh fuck!
Talar's going to stand in front of the bathroom door and spread her wings out to kind of block the view, just in case.
Nashari's got the hint. He knows he's not wanted. That's why he left in the end. He
Okay.
got the
Are you going to head down to the
He
bar?
he wanted to say, but then he goes down to the bar.
Cool. And as the door opens, Talar, you watch as Sir Barclay comes flying in and sets up on the one of the posts of the bed. And Corlina, once you know that Barclay's in the room, I'm assuming you just mage hand close the door again. Cool.
Yep.
And there's another flick of the pale blue wrist as there's a click and the door is closed behind Barclay.
And Talara will step off to the side with her back turns towards the bathroom door to give her privacy.
Okay.
She'll probably go over to the window and just kind of look out the window.
All right. And Corlina, are you just going to get yourself dressed?
Yep.
And what's the plan for yourself? Are you wanting to rejoin with everyone else, or?
Yeah. After a minute of, what's going on?
Well, they
What?
heard sounds from up here, and Nathari, I told them not to come up here, but Nathari insisted. He started banging on your door, yelling for you. Temple thought you were in trouble. He crashed the door in, and so on and so forth.
I like to look over the door. Is it still broken?
No, it's been mended.
Okay, well, I guess he did a damn good job if it doesn't look like it's broken.
Yeah, Nathari actually mended it back together, but he did fall out the window.
What?
Wait, the Neanderthal fell out the window and I missed it? Damn.
Mm-hmm.
You can't understand that, Talar.
Sorry.
That's what Barclay says, Corlina.
Well, I guess, thank you for your concern. But I was okay. I was just having a study break.
And nobody knew. You didn't respond.
Well, wait, you've seen me look through Barkley before. I'm blind and deaf.
I have seen you do it before, but we didn't know that's what was going on. I, for one, was not thrilled with the idea of them breaking down your door, but I figured you were okay. But everyone else kind of freaked out.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was just in the bath. I mean, right there.
You don't go invisible during that, do you?
No, but sometimes being under the water helps me think, so...
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, in hindsight, Talar, you never actually checked the inside of the bathtub. You just checked the surface.
She didn't want to go too far in just in case. She didn't want to be that awkward person.
I mean, it's not like she would have seen you, but you never actually checked the center of the bathtub or the bottom of the bathtub. You just checked the surface, and there was no sign of her. So, but hey, now you know.
Yep.
All right. So after a few moments of the understanding the situation, what are the two of you want to do?
So, I guess, are we hunting werewolves today, I guess? Or... that spell's nowhere near ready.
Did you need more time to complete it? We could go without you if you want. I mean, I understand you've been through a lot.
I mean, I could go. Maybe slinging some offensive magic might do me some good. It's not like you don't need me or anything, right?
I would be happy to have you with us. I just want to make sure that you're okay. And you're willing to be around him.
Planes are weird.
Well, I did try to warn you, my lady, that...
Your loose lips sink the fucking ship, you bitch!
It wasn't my intention. You intentionally gave me some extremely intoxicating alcohol.
I thought you
If-
could handle it, but I'm
By
not
extension,
wrong.
it is your fault.
I have to ask DM: is this conversation entirely in Primordial?
This
He's
is
just, like,
entirely yeah.
angrily, like,
This is
gesticulating.
entirely in Orin. As, yeah, Talon, you're just watching as she's clearly Corleone's clearly having a conversation with Barkley, but it's like lots of whistling and like clicking noises mostly, and she's just like wrapping her hands to her palm and pointing at Barkley and just all over the place, and Barkley's like looking around and extending and unfurling his wings and closing them back in, and they seem to be having an argument in Orin that you're not privy to.
She's just gonna stand there and watch, let them verbally duke it out.
By extension, my lady, it is your fault. You gave me the intoxicant.
I thought you could handle it.
You saw what it did to the Neanderthal the night prior.
I thought you held yourself above him, but I guess he holds it better than you.
Your words cut very deep, Coralina.
Oh, your words cut deep enough last night.
Well, when you have need of me again, Coralina, do summon me. And with that, Barkley actually hops on the post and takes off through the window.
Can't find good help these days.
I take it that was an argument of some sort.
Barkley is apparently loose-beaked when he drinks.
A little bit.
And he said things.
That he probably shouldn't have.
I am so dead.
I wouldn't consider yourself dead.
Well, I mean, no, because apparently I have to have hooves to be, suitable. I just look at Eve's face.
Ooh. Ouch.
I don't think he knows what he's saying when he says it. Nathari, that is. I've learned. I've spent enough time around him to know that he doesn't seem to have quite a brain mouth filter type thing.
Okay. I guess we can avoid this for now and go hunt werewolves. Yeah.
With that, I'm assuming you're just like, yeah, straight out the doorway, trying to now avoid the conversation.
Yep.
Just like, oh, mage hand, spellbook, let's go. Let's stop talking about this now. Let's go. All right.
Fire's gonna chuckle a little bit and just follow behind her.
All right, so you head down the stairs. There's no sign of anyone in the common room. Make your way down, like outside of the tower, and you can see Victorilas, Nestare, and Temple sat up at the bar, waiting very patiently for you guys to.
You weren't looking too hard for me, right?
I had my sword and shield drawn.
Well, we made it as far as the alleyway that circles the tower, but then Neftari fell out the window and Sir Barkley explained what had happened.
I mean, yeah, it was a study break.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'll let somebody know the next time I do that.
it might be a good idea, one way or another, given that you do have people trying to drag you back, and for all we knew,
I mean,
that's what had happened.
I was just in the bath. I mean,
No
So,
more baths, Coralina. I don't take baths. I don't need them.
Temple.
that sounds really unhygienic.
What? Getting yourself all covered in water? Oh, I
Well,
guess
technically, you have taken a bath. Remember how you got all nice and shiny?
I did get hosed down. That was incredible.
You got
More of a
scrubbed
shower than a bath.
with
So,
metal
shower
scrubbies and.
only?
All right, so you guys have reconvened. The case of the missing Coralina has finally been solved. What's the plan? Do you guys want to head out and do some investigation into the rumors of this werewolf, or you want to look for the potential of an oath bow, or you want to look up on firearms?
all of those.
All of them.
Well,
Tori, you kind of, you're pretty close. You can talk to animals, can't you?
yeah,
Could you talk to plants as well?
I could. I had a spell to do that, but it's not prepared at the moment.
Just occurred to me that giant tree that sits in the middle of the city, that probably
Yeah.
sees and hears everything.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to do a Sun Tree voice. Oh, I'm gonna have to do the Sun Tree voice. I'm gonna have to go and like rewatch campaign 1, the Whitestone arc of campaign 1 to get this voice down. Oh
Get your
no.
stone surf dude on.
Fuck.
Tell you what, I'll prepare that spell tonight.
And then
Because
we can speak
that's
to
a
the tree.
brilliant idea.
Fuck.
Yes,
I
the
see.
tree will tell us. I have an awful lot of questions of this tree.
I just imagined if,
I anticipate
sits-
we'll be speaking to it for a long time.
yes, I'm sure it knows a lot about the goings on of this city.
Of course, the tree knows everything. Why did I bring you guys
In the
to Whitestone?
meantime,
Let's head to the square and see what we can see.
we need to see if there's some kind of authority, security force, police force in the city, and see if we can find any more information on this werewolf, because if it's a threat to the city, then someone
Okay.
must know of an incident.
I mean, there's also a rune code here. You know?
What? As in the teleportation circle?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, where was it? It was a public one, wasn't it? To the north of the city.
So as you
Yeah.
recall, there was a teleport. The teleportation circle itself is in the Dawnfather Square. However, the what you've been told is that the Temple of the Dawn is the place to go to get the rune code itself.
I was having Barkley look for the temple, of course, because, you know, it's a holy place, so usually they have large spires, so it was easier for him to see from the sky. I'm avoiding eye contact while explaining this, by the
Mhm.
way.
Just kind of looking down and explaining all of this, like, yeah, and that's why this has all happened because of that.
Did he find it?
Not
No,
that
he
you're
got
aware
called
of.
away.
I was surveying the city for a number of hours from the balcony at the top of the tower, and I think I can find our way there. I know the direction at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. And he chugs the rest of his pack.
All right, so you guys making your way up to the Temple of the Dawn?
Seems that way.
Yep.
Oh, Evelyn, we just lost Evelyn.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
And
she's back.
there she's back.
Everybody froze.
Yeah, that was on your end, unfortunately. But hey, welcome back. So yeah, the idea is to make your way to the Temple of the Dawn. So as you guys head out, you tell us you're the night previous. You're kind of scouting from the tower. You did get a gist of the immediate vicinity. You were able to pick up that the Temple of the Dawn, as per the description given to you, was to the far east side, just outside of the city walls. So you figured that if you follow, you didn't see it yourself, but you figure if you follow the eastern wall to the north and just follow along, you'd probably be able to make your way out to the Temple of the Dawn.
I'm keeping to like the mid to rear of the marching order.
Okay.
I'll be right up front, I guess, because
Yeah.
I think I know where I'm going.
You think you know where you're going?
I'm confidently right up front, but regularly stopping to check where Victoralis is going. He knows where he's going, but I don't. But I'm in front.
You're just like very confidently walking along and then see a side street and you're like, yeah, this way. Glance over and see Victoralis not turning his. Nope, not that way. This way. Haha! I know where I'm going.
That's
Right.
exactly what's happening.
Yeah. So you guys follow your way with Victoralis and Temple taking the lead. Follow
Talar
along
is
the
just behind Corlina.
just behind Carlina. Nethari, where are you? Just for brevity's sake.
Right at the back, a bit dejected.
Right in the back. Yeah, about 5-10 feet behind. Still keeping an eye on everyone falling behind, but kind of just This is left to your own devices. You follow the eastern wall, and eventually there's a couple of towers and outcroppings throughout the wall used for security measures. You can see some guards with there's a couple of ballista on top of the spires. Guards armed with what looks to be long swords and long bows, patrolling along the wall itself. You make your way along and eventually come to a large wooden gate, which leads down a cobbled path, elevated slightly, but through the thicket of the woods, the parchwood timberlands. As you make your way down, it's a couple 100 feet down the stone path. You can see the massive difference between Whitestone and the area heading towards this kind of religious sector. Glancing left and right, it's nothing but dark woods, like both sides. And looking over your shoulder, you can see the guards kind of giving you a wary look as you leave. But you make your way down, pass through a small steel gate as you enter the area, the religious area next to the Temple of the Dawn. Walking along, as you were walking along, everyone go ahead and roll me perception checks. Oh God.
Huh? No.
Let's see. So
Corlina's still staring at the ground, isn't she?
9, 3, 14, 12, 27. Okay.
If
so
I were in forest, I'd get a perception.
You're not really in the forest at the moment. But you know what? I'll give you. It's a bonus 4, so that's a bonus 5, because your proficiency is up to 5 now. Double
Yep.
proficiency, so that's 19. So on the 9, the 3, and the 12, you guys don't really hear much. Temple, you're just constantly as you're walking down, you're constantly like sure you're walking in the right direction. Glance over your shoulder, see Victoralis going in the other way, like nope, going this way. Need to make sure that we're going in the right direction. I know exactly where we're going, right, Victoralis? Carolina, you're just kind of like looking down and like On your natural 20 in the Thor, you do see Coralina every so often. She just kind of glances over her shoulder at you, and as you kind of make eye contact, she just kind of immediately looks away, snaps her head back to the front and down to the ground, like nope, 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 nope. Talar, you're aware of the religious importance of this area and what it might mean for you coming here. So you're kind of your focus is on your destination, not the journey. However, Victorlus and Neftari, as you guys are heading down, you do actually hear some whispers from people. Apparently, there's an individual, a suspect, goes by the name of Diego. That is suspected to be the werewolf. That it is confirmed that there is a werewolf. There's an individual named Diego who's been arrested, who's been suspected. There's no confirmation. There is several suspects that the guards are going to have in line for questioning. But as you make your way through the gate and down the path towards the Temple of the Dawn, their voices slowly fade out to nothing, so you're not able to make out much more. As you pass through the small steel gate towards the kind of religious ward, you do see that for the most part it is just a quite a large graveyard. There's not actually that much here. It would seem that most of the previous residents of Whitestone, those who have passed of either natural or unnatural causes, have been buried here. There's some family crypts, large, like large tombstones essentially. But they're like a plot that has been set aside for families, to be buried amongst each other. But there is a single large kind of dull grey stoned building, a wooden like tiled roof, four large kind of spires protruding from the each corner of the roof, and there's a large double wood oak door, sorry, at the front that seems to beckon you inwards. There's no windows at the front that you can see as you kind of glance around. There is like some stained glass decorations on the windows at the sides, but there's no way to actually see inside the Temple of the Dawn as it stands.
Right, well, these places give me the creeps, so all you magical religious types, go right ahead.
I mean, how do we approach? Hi, you have a rune code I'd like to scribe down, please, thank you? Or I don't know. Floor, how does this work?
Oh, I've never asked for rune codes before.
I mean, depends on how private or public that knowledge is. Would I know how private or public the knowledge of a rune code for a teleportation circle would be?
You'd know that it depends. Some teleportation circles are public, so therefore their rune code is for public use. Some are private, so it may incur a cost to get the rune code, or you may not be able to get it at all. From what you've been told, it seems to be a public teleportation circle that's just never used. So it should just be a matter of asking, but you're not too sure, really.
Okay, so I guess we ask someone in charge. What does the person in charge of a church look like? I'm asking this to Temple and Talar. I don't know this.
In my experience, it's usually the person, apart from me, with the biggest hat.
Okay.
He does kind of have a point.
Okay. I guess we go. and ask them.
Great, looking for someone with a big hat then. Good luck. And I'm going to stand by the
Found
door
one.
and go back to my kind of resting on my bow pose because I don't really like these temples.
You don't like temple?
Not you, temple. These things. These religious buildings.
What
built
wouldn't
to-
you like about it? It's just a lot of stones piled on top of one another, except instead of worshipping alcohol, they worship a deity.
Yeah, that's
Fine.
the point.
Alright, so
Good
what are
for
you guys
them.
doing?
I mean, if I have to go and ask for the rune code, I will at least ask for myself. I will pursue my own knowledge.
So,
I collect teleport codes. I try my best to, anyways.
If it was up to me, I'd jump on the guy that looks like the leader and threaten it out of him. But
No, we'll not be doing that. This is their home. We're going to come in and maybe tell them about the apocalypse.
I mean, I don't know if we want to go straight into the holy shit, everything's going to die story just yet. Maybe just ask of, hi, we hear you have a teleportation circle. May I please have the code? Okay, thank you.
I was going to
Hi,
point
we are a
at
group-
Coralina. Her idea sounds best.
Hi, we are a group of heavily armed adventurers, and we'd love for you to
Probably
give us a
not.
means
Temple,
to come
no.
back here instantly.
Temple, no.
I
So
was
that-
attempting sarcasm. Did I do
Downplay
good?
the-
Nobody's laughing.
Downplay the threatening and the bearing of weapons, I think is probably a good idea. Possibly go light on the details of the apocalypse as well, at least for now.
for these religious types are all about the apocalypse. It gives them a reason to exist, doesn't it? Fear and all that.
Well, if we can
DM, do I
garner some support.
know? What do I know about followers of the Temple of Dawn? Like, I imagine I'd know a fair bit, but do I know that they briefly, just like what they're kind of all about?
the Temple of Torn, did you say?
Dawn, the
Dawn.
temple we're at, the followers of this religion, what generally they're like.
Well-
Generally, you'd say Nerul was like life and death.
Well,
and
actually, go ahead and roll me a religion check, because this is just the Temple of the Dawn. That's not the deity. So go ahead and roll me go ahead and roll me a religion check, and we'll see if you actually know which god it is. Yeah, no, on 10, low DC for you, because you did a lot of research into trying to figure out your own deity for the first major portion of your existence. Glancing up to the top of the double oak door frame, there is a depiction of a large, vibrant looking sun that's been etched into the stonework above the doorframe. You recognize this as Palor, the god of the sun. No, god of sun and the sun and healing. Sorry, neutral good. Domains of life and light, and the sigil is of a sun.
Would Talar recognize this as well?
Go ahead and roll me a religion check as well, then. Yeah, no, it's still quite a low DC. Because your goddess is Saloon, the goddess of the moon, you would know her polar, like, well, not polar opposite, but her opposite for a goddess of the sun. You would know of and understand the teachings of the god of the sun as well. So you would understand, you would recognize this as a temple to Palor.
How do you spell that?
That is Pelor, Papa Echo Lima Oscar Romeo, Palor.
Well, as
Can I
far
just
as I
look at
know,
it?
this is one of the more friendly temples, one of the less aggressive of the gods. As far as I know, they're not warring other gods like certain other gods are, but don't get me started on all of that. Come on, let's head on in.
On a side note,
I'll
I'm
be-
probably
Okay.
butchering the shit out of the canon of Critical Role Campaign 1 because I don't actually think it's Paylor that is the god here. I'd have to double
No, I
check.
think it's Paylor because Percival has mentioned Paylor a few times.
Yeah, I think it is Paylor, but I get the feeling that I just butchered Critical Role Canon right there.
Ah. We'll worry about that later.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys heading in?
I
Absolutely.
guess
All right.
I'm just gonna wander off towards the wander around the grounds, having a
Okay.
think to myself.
Having a little
He'll just screw things up and end up
a
threatening.
little bit of self-reflection as you're wandering through the grounds. Victorless, are you sticking with the group or
I'm
Are
just
you
going to
gonna-
stay by the door. I'm going to let them go in, but
let them
No.
do their
this whole
religious
thing doesn't appeal to
Yeah.
me. And just
Religion and gods. Wow,
yeah.
no. I'll
If
I'll
it
just
makes you feel any better, I'm just going for the rune code. I don't have use for gods. What have they done for me?
yeah, true.
I mean, you were resurrected, like, pretty much, but okay. I guess.
I'll think about it, Temple. Okay.
All right,
I'm pretty sure I've made a paladin's day.
probably. Anyway, as you guys enter the inside of the temple itself is massively different in comparison to the outside. Outside, it's kind of it looks like it was a dull grey brick. It looks if it was properly maintained, it'd probably be a bright, vibrant white color, but without it being maintained too much, you're not really able to. You don't see how good it is, but on the inside, it's vastly different. It's bright white, like bright white stonework, like follows pillars, supporting pillars that might maintain the roof. The pews are all like varnished down, shining a very brilliant brown colored oak as you enter. There's a couple of individuals in white adorned cloaks with what looks to be trim of gold flowing through them, sat at pews, their hands clasped together, their hoods up over their heads, seemingly in prayer. There is what looks to be an individual who's just up to the front of the temple itself, just under what looks to be a golden disc that has a engraving of another engraving of a sun with on it. You could assume that is the leader of the temple. Not 100% sure though.
As we're
Well,
walking
is
in,
the main-
Talar is looking like around, like up, around the sides, all over the place. She's in awe at the moment. It's beautiful to her.
Go ahead and give me everyone it'd be Talar, Corleone and Temple. Go ahead and roll me perception checks, please.
Shiny
Yeah,
rock.
no, still thoroughly distracted.
Temple has a feather in his face.
Right, Talar. As you Talar, you're the one that notices this initially. As you kind of look over, the individual at the front of the temple itself, the way they're kneeling, it's interesting. You see that their cloak kind of flows over and down over where their feet would be, and their body kind of curves to the right before curving up to the left before setting down with the hood over their head. it's just something that kind of catches your attention, as this doesn't seem to be a very natural way of kneeling for a prayer.
She kind of hones in on that and studies them a little bit further. Does she notice anything else further other than how they're sitting, standing, whatever?
What was it you rolled on a 16? No, that's the
Mhm.
only thing that you know. You notice their body shape is a little bit off. It does catch your attention, but other than that, there's their cloak, that bright, vibrant white with the accents of gold flowing through it. You can't really make much else.
Hmm.
So, Talar, where's the head church guy?
Would she have spotted someone like that?
Also, TM, apart from me, obviously, who has the biggest hat in the room?
You do actually. There are no individuals wearing hats inside this temple.
What
They're
kind of religion is this?
they're all adorned, like the people that you can see within the temple itself are all adorned in that brilliant white with gold accented like robes with the hood up over their head. And on your 16, Talar, you don't know which one could be the leader. I mean,
Mm.
like, you don't actually follow Palor yourself, so you don't know how the followers of Palor like make prayer to him within the grounds of their temple. If it's like if they can just pray whenever they want, and someone just so happened to get the best seat in the house before the large golden idol to him, or if their leader is the one that always gets the best seat in the house, so to speak. That's probably very blasphemous of me to say that, you know.
I was very excited to come here, but now I'm here seeing people in robes. It's almost as if robes have been just ruined for me.
She kind of looks over Coralina and she's like, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with their uh, the raiments and whatnot. I couldn't say.
Okay. Well, is there someone standing near the front of the room, or?
There is the only one that's to the front of the room would be the individual that is kneeling down before the large golden disc, with the sun emblazoned on it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll approach. Uh,
We could try asking that person.
okay. I'll approach and like kind of sidestep a little bit to where I'm like kind of in front of them and kind of like uh try to with the very gingerly touch, like kind of like tap their shoulder. Excuse me.
Give me a second to check something here. Do they speak? Yeah, cool. As you just say, excuse me, the individual, like their head is kind of lowered down there, but they raise it slightly. Yes.
Hey. Hi. We are travelers. Um. So we were wondering, is the head person in at this time?
Of course. I am. The individual kind of slowly comes to what you would assume to be a stand. However, as they turn to you, their head is that of a serpent. The tail end of their robe kind of straightens out, and you can see that their body is very serpentine. The individual kind of looks down upon you all. I am Father Yuska. How can I help you?
Right. Well, I recently heard that your fine temple has a teleportation circle nearby, and being in the school of conjuration, I was wondering, might I look at your rune code, please?
Of course. You do not need to worry, small one. You are safe within these hallowed grounds. The rune code for the Dawnfather Square. I will get it for you. Please wait here. You
Thank
watch
you.
as this very confusing individual. The three of you that are inside, go ahead and roll me nature checks. Actually slithers away to a back corner where there seems to be what looks to be a bookshelf of sorts.
And I'm assuming
Am I
the
the
shape
only one
of
that's
their
not
bodies now
freaked out
makes
about
sense to
this?
Talar.
Not really, actually, Tar. What did you say there, Carlina? Sorry.
I'm trying to keep my voice down. Am I the only one that's not a little bit like unnerved about this, or I don't usually see snake people that often.
Do you often see Warforged?
No, you're actually the first.
I don't even have a beating heart.
But yeah,
Aw.
Carlina on the 19. Temple and Talar, you guys have no idea what this is, but Carlina, you know of this species of beings. They are the Yuan-Ti, and surprisingly, a Yuan-Ti abomination of all is the one that's in charge of this temple. The
Okay.
Yuan-Ti themselves are normally bipedal, so 2 legs, 2 arms, but with a serpentine head. But the abominations, they were born without the development of legs, so they do have their serpentine body. So they've got arms and like a serpentine head, but their body is essentially that of a snake.
Right. Well, I guess I haven't seen. I've only seen Yuan-Ti in like books and stuff. So,
If you would like, I do have a picture here for reference. If the
oh, it's
if
okay.
you
I just imagined Sneeple. So.
yeah, there you go. There's a picture of the Yuan-Ti abomination. If
Yeah.
that helps at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, not the weirdest thing I've seen.
Where?
It was over on the stream.
It was on the stream, yeah.
So, I mean, not the most disturbing thing I've seen. No, Neftari still holds that honor for the most disturbing thing I've seen.
After a few minutes, the Yuan-Ti slowly kind of slithers back to you. The rune code as you request. Here you are, small one. Yeah, it passes you a piece of parchment with the a rune code written on it.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Thank you. It's just for free. I can just take this.
Of course. It is a public teleportation circle. We do not charge for the information that you require. Please use it as you see fit.
Hey, I'd like to cast message to Talar.
Go ahead.
Talar, I'm extremely creeped the fuck out. Can we leave now, please?
As you message this, you just see the Yuan-Ti just kind of tongue flick at you like a snake would do. Just
I'm assuming Talar is she wouldn't be creeped out by this.
I mean, would she? I don't know. That's up to you. It's your character. I mean, this is a very
being what she
very
is,
large.
she wouldn't.
I mean, this is a very large snake person who seems to be quite religious, who is just flicking his tongue out at you like a snake does.
And being what she is, she's not really creeped out or anything. I mean, she's, you know,
Okay,
so
I'd like to
she
cast
she kind of
message
looks
again.
over to Corlina, and she looks back up at the what's his name again?
His name is
Yaska.
Yuska. That's
Yaska.
Yankee Uniform Sierra Kila Alpha Yuska, and he is a Yuan T. That's a Yankee Uniform Alpha November Dash Tango India Yuan T.
Okay.
I'd like
So
to cast
she,
message again.
Yeah, you cast message again. Go ahead.
All right, back it to Lar. I can't tell if he's got a lisp or like, is that how he pronounces his name? I really don't want to be rude.
can she speak back with this
With
over message, or is
I
it just a one-way
don't
thing?
Message?
believe
No,
so.
message is two-way. I think you can reply to it if I cast it.
And can reply in a whisper. Yeah. So you can reply in message.
Okay.
Actually, go ahead,
I-
Corlina. Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check while you're doing this, because as per the spell's description, you point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message.
Yep.
Yeah. You like as you kind of like that, like you're trying to hide it as you kind of like point. But there's a couple of times where you point and your finger gets to nothing, so you're just almost staring uncomfortably up to this Yuan-Ti, point your finger back towards Talar in hopes to find her, and the Yuan-Ti does kind of glance down, look at your hand, and then look back up to you. Doesn't say anything, but he seems to be aware of the fact that you're casting message. So what are you guys doing now? You've got your
I'm
rune
waiting on
code.
a reply.
Yeah, you can go for your
Whoa.
reply if you'd like to.
I'm pretty sure that's how he pronounces his name.
Okay.
You know, it is quite rude to message each other while in the presence of another.
I was just asking my cleric companion, because I am very ignorant of religious things, and I also don't want to be rude because I can come off at that sometimes. And yeah.
She meant no harm.
I would assume that myself. One wouldn't go out of their way to say nasty things for the sake of it. If you have any other questions, please let me know.
I think other than the room code, I'm okay. Talar, did you have any questions? Temple, did you have any questions?
Kind of,
If not, I know we have our companions waiing, so.
Oh, absolutely. Excuse me, good sir. I am a paladin of a different religion.
No.
I've learned a lot about different religions, but I'd really like to know, do you have any paladins here now, just sort of hanging around?
the Yuska kind of just very slowly looks around, looks at the two other individuals who were in prayer but are now kind of like glancing up to you all. Like, does it look like we have paladins within our walls? No.
Does it, DM?
No, there are 3 people in this temple. Now 6, but there were 3 people in this temple before you entered, and they were all praying. They do not look to be like they do not look like they're paladins.
Y'all got any of them paladins?
Y'all got any of them paladins? No, we do not have any paladins here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the response.
Of course. And what of you, Moon Daughter? Do you have any questions? He directed that at you, Talar.
Yeah. She looks up at him and just kind of glances around. She'd like to take like a brief 2-second moment to kind of um
Contemplate what she's
reach
going to
out
say.
mentally, almost like kind of
Uh-huh.
see if she could sense the energy around and see if there's anything here that might be calling to her in a sense.
Go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You extend your senses out and you take a deep breath and look into Ayaska's eyes. They're a kind of bronze, reddish bronze color. The pupils are slits rather than circular, and you kind of just focus in on him for a moment before you take a deep breath and extend your senses. And as you extend, there's a sudden interruption to your focus, and Yuska kind of, you will not find what you are looking for here, Moon Daughter. But I know of what you seek. You seek a key, yes?
She's just going to merely tilt her head just like half an inch and look back up at him as an answer.
I can inform you that you will find no key here. There were whispers of a key in Whitestone, but nothing that I have been able to ascertain myself. You'd
Sorry,
best.
Scott, could you repeat that? What was it? You cut out.
Did everyone else hear me, or?
Got most of it, I think.
I could, yeah.
Most of it.
Okay, I'll move my mic a little bit closer to my face, so hopefully I don't cut out that much.
You'll find a key in Whitestone.
You won't find a key in Whitestone, but you can do your own investigation. Perhaps you'll find where the key has gone. It shouldn't be too far away. Perhaps it is closer than I anticipate. Tongue flicks at you several times. Snack.
Wait, which doesn't bother her at all.
Oh, it bothers the fuck out of me.
He's a snack. What do you expect? Snacks tongue flick. That's what they do. They're smelly flickers.
I understand that, but this is still a little bit weird.
With the information he's given her, she's going to bow her head. Thank you for your information.
Of course. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to ask.
Thank you.
Kind of gives you a nod and turns on the spot, his tail kind of coiling up, and he lowers himself down, bows his head, and returns to his prayer, disregarding the three of you.
How far am I away from the door?
20 feet.
Yeah, I'm going.
You just missed a step. Yep, just
Poof.
gone. Carlina vanishes the moment Yuska's turned his back. Carlina is just boop, gone. Right, outside. Start with Victoria. So are you doing anything in particular? Or are you just going to be sat there waiting for them to do their religious guff and come back? Or are you...
Yeah, just waiting as far as I'm concerned. Carolina's just suddenly appeared next to me on the steps
Yeah.
outside this temple.
A few minutes have gone. A few minutes go by, and you're just wondering what's taking them so long. It's just a rune key. There's no need for this religious guff. Temple's got his thing. Talar's got her thing, but it shouldn't take this long. And then boop, Corlina's there just beside you. She looks kind of frazzled, but you know, she doesn't seem to be harmed, but she does look a little uncomfortable.
So, success?
It's full of snake people in there.
That's why I don't go into these weird places.
Wait, there's more snake people in churches?
I don't know, but
On a side note, I'm just going to point out that there was only one snake person that you actually saw. You weren't able to determine what the other people were because you didn't actually pay them any attention. But there was only.
But like,
I'm just going to point
snake
that out.
person.
Yeah, but you said it was full of snake people. That's not true in the slightest.
She doesn't know that. Therefore, they're all full of snake people.
So yes, therefore they're all snake people. Snake people, not snake
I'll
people.
take-
They're not
I'll
snake
take her
people
word
anymore. They're
for it.
snack people. Snack. Smelly flickers and nom nom seekers. Those are for finding cheese, boys.
so
You're muted, Corlina.
Oh, they should be out soonish. So you're
they're
here.
not being eaten. Snake people aren't
No,
attacking.
No, it was just really creepy.
Yeah, that's again why I don't like to go into these places.
How loud are you being, Corlina?
Um,
Oh no.
I'm not screaming it, but I'm like, eh.
Oh, there's snake people outside in there. Yeah, like you're kind of loud. Yeah, as you Temple and Talar, as you guys like make your way out, they're like you kind of glance over your shoulder. You guys are quite evidently hearing Corlina like say that this temple is full of snake people, and she's just creeped the fuck out. As you're leaving the temple, and as you glance over your shoulder, you can see Yuska kind of turn around and look over his shoulder at you all, tongue flicks at you, and then goes back to his prayers.
Yeah, I'm still creeped out.
We're not snakish, I promise.
I almost get the feeling that he was almost kind of grinning or like, just amused by that. Would I have been able to tell
No,
anything just by the look on his face? Or...
no, not at that distance, and with his
Okay.
like the serpentine features, you wouldn't really be able to tell.
Okay.
Right.
I'll just leave it at it's just a feeling.
We'll go over to Neftari as you've been contemplating, as you've been going around the church grounds and through the through the graveyard, past all the crypts and the gravestones and such. Are you just taking this time for self-reflection, or?
Yeah, he's feeling a bit sad. He feels like he's fucked up, but he doesn't know how. He finds somewhere to sit down quietly, and he pulls the dagger.
Okay.
Is it Suri's blade?
Yeah,
The,
Tsuri's topaz dagger. Yeah. You you managed, like, you're just doing your in the middle of self-reflection. You managed to find what looks to be like a stone bench of sorts just outside of a large structure. Seems to be some kind of crypt. In your time of self-reflection, managed to pull out the topaz blade and just start looking over it. I mean, you've not actually used it or anything since you dragged Coralina along to go and nick it from Tsuri, but it's still in your possession.
he see his reflection in it.
Yes, you can.
Just gonna sit there looking at his reflection.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Natural 20. Jesus Christ. As you're like looking, you've got the blade in your hand, and you press the tip to your palm, and like your finger and just balance it as you're looking at the blade, and just you can see yourself within it. As you're a couple of minutes go by, you can hear some commotion over by the temple. With your self contemplation over, you sheathe the blade and get ready to rejoin your companions, assuming that they are almost finished. And as you kind of glance around, considering what you may or may not be able to do to salvage the situation, you take a look up to the crypt, but just beside it, just for a mere moment, you see what looks to be the flash of two red orbs staring at you from deep within the darkness of the Parchwood Timberlands. Kind of shake your head, close your eyes, and look once again, and the two deep red orbs have vanished.
Looks down at the blade again and wonders whether it was anything to do with that. But he shakes his head and forgets it and goes to join his friends.
Yeah. You wander back and regroup with your companions, and everyone is outside. You manage to reconvene outside of the Temple of the Dawn with the teleportation circle rune code in your wizard's possession.
Yep, I got it.
Did they know anything about the werewolf?
I didn't ask.
Oh, I heard some guards on the when we were walking through town. They've already arrested somebody.
That was quick.
Someone called Diego.
Well, if they've already arrested someone, then probably a road not worth going down.
But they had some other people they were gonna as well, maybe. I don't know. I just heard little bits. I guess there'll be a
Perhaps-
hanging in a couple of days.
Perhaps we should ask some of the guards as we head back into the city. There must be some kind of central guard station or sheriff's office or something.
By the way, just look into the trees. Do you see anything watching?
The rest of you go ahead and roll me perception checks as Neth'Tari points this out.
No, sorry, what? Anywhere in particular?
I point to where I thought I
Yeah.
saw some.
Yeah,
red
you point back towards the crypt, like just past the crypt that you'd taken a seat beside. 14,
Can
12, 12.
Can I move over towards that area?
Uh-huh.
Like basically closer to the edge of the forest, so I can get a better look.
Yeah. You'll get your double proficiency on your perception check. So +5 on top of the roll.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, so that would have been a 36 in total for that. That's crazy. Temple, Talar, Coralina, as you guys look over, you don't see anything. The only thing that you can see is the large crypt that Neth'Tari had pointed to. On it, it does actually have the surname of the family that is resting there, the Rolo. Victorious, as you move towards this crypt, you follow where Neth'Tari pointed out to you. You look up to the crypt and look past it, and actually take a couple of steps to the edge of the fence line, just to the edge of the where the Parchwood Timberland would begin. Kind of focus your vision to a point and start scanning. And again, just for a fraction of a second, you see two bright red glowing orbs staring at you. You see it, you blink, and the orbs vanish. However, being at 36, your eyes fail you, but your ears do not. As you kind of blink and the orbs disappear, you're not able to see anything further, but you do hear the sounds of something taking off into the forest. It could be bipedal, it could be quadrupedal, you're not 100% sure, you can't see it, but something quite big takes off deep into the forest that you can hear.
Okay, at that point then I'm going to use my primeval awareness
Mm,
and expel a first level slot for a minute.
Awareness. As an action, you can spend one ranger spell slot, 1 minute per level spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elemental, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles if you're in your favorite terrain. Feature doesn't reveal the creature's location or number. Time to reference the monster manual, because I don't think werewolves which are actually under lycanthropes.
I mean, I don't see anything. Do you guys see anything?
I didn't know.
I mean, I could send Barkley, but we had an argument this morning.
Lycanthrope. There we go. I need to get a tag on this page. Actually, where was my thing?
Detect Victorious has reacted and said red orb.
You can't from where you are, and when you watch Victorious walk away, you can't really pick on that he's detected anything.
Or if you can see him, all you would have seen is him drop to the ground and like basically touch the ground to use his primeval awareness.
No. Even though within 6 miles of you, you don't pick up anything. Well, actually, double check that. No, actually, yes, you do. You pick up 2 things. Undead. No, actually, I shouldn't have said that. It doesn't tell you creature's location or number. But so yeah, you pick up undead in your primeval awareness. But that's about it.
Okay, that immediately sends a chill down my spine. Am I able to gauge from the sound roughly what direction that thing went in?
It looked like it headed northbound. So essentially, if you take a look at your maps, I'm going to use no snapping. So the rest of the party, you're just here. Victorious, you'd be about here, just past the this crypt. Like it's the altar of the Raven on the map, but I'm using that as the crypt for the Dorolos. You saw the vision, you saw the orbs, and took off to the north here. And once you picked up, is that it has moved off somewhere to the far north in the Parchwood Timberlands. You can't tell exactly where it's gone because you can only hear it. You haven't seen which direction it's taken off on, but you can hear it. You've heard it, either quadrupedal or bipedal, taking off to the north.
And I've picked up a signal that they're undead.
Yes.
I rise to my feet slowly, just gather myself for a minute, and walk back over to the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
There's something in the woods. Saw 2 red lights, and something ran off to the north. Then we've seen the same thing. I've checked the area, and I've sensed undead. So let's be very, very careful.
Oh, we could go and kill it.
We don't know that this is a werewolf. It could be anything. If it's undead, I don't know. I just worry that Kendrill's influence has started to creep in.
Aren't you even curious what it was?
Oh, if this is the werewolf, then I absolutely agree we need to hunt it down. I'm just saying it may not be, so let's be careful.
Oh, does that not make you even more curious?
We're wasting time. We could be chasing that thing right now.
Let's go.
Are you guys going to take off after it?
Yeah, I will get resummon Barkley back to my side and ask him to go take off towards the north of wherever Vic said it was heading.
Yeah. You resummon
Standard.
Barkley. Yeah. You give him the order. He just ruffles his feathers at you. No
Look,
words.
I said I was sorry.
No words are. He doesn't say anything back to you as he just takes off to the north as per your request.
Mm-hmm.
Starts flying through you watch him disappear into the thicket of the trees. And
as he does that, I'm going to shout after him, and I'm going to shout, "Sir Barkley, be careful!"
No response as he flies away.
Good, he's not talking to you either.
If he's flying low level through the trees, then he's putting himself in danger.
All right, so Barkley's away doing some tracking, like some avian tracking. What are you guys doing?
I mean, if we're coming up from behind, I guess I can look through it.
So then I said, "That's not my goblin." Wait, where did everybody go? I'm going to leave the temple.
I thought you'd. I'm pretty sure. I asked if you guys were leaving, and you said you were leaving with Talara. I must have missed that then. Oh well. Yeah, you. Sorry, you rejoin your party. I thought you said you were with the party. That is my bad.
Like I said, I can look through Barkley. He doesn't really get a choice of whether he can sense or not. I can just look through him. I'll just need somebody to guide me along the way, 'cause I'll be blind and deaf.
Talar holds her arm out and says, "Here, I'll guide you."
Visible pause for like a moment of like any other takers. Okay.
Well, I was thinking, Temple could give you a piggyback.
That is true. I mean, me is not really a problem.
It would be quite effortless.
Is it piggyback, or are you going for like the I don't know how humans carry each other sack of potatoes?
No, I mean, I've got all sorts of like straps for weapons and things for you to hang off of. I mean, you could install a seat onto me if you wanted. And I really tried to not let it be misconstrued as sexual, but that's where you went. It's your dirty, corrupt mind. But just can't
No.
a 7-foot-tall, 500-pound warforged say straps without getting funny looks?
No, you like now that you've put it in our heads. A 7-foot-tall, 500-pound warforged can't say straps without getting strange looks.
So anyway, let's get the strongest super glue we can find. Glue a chair to my back, and then it's not even a piggyback. You can cast spells from like horseback, but temple back.
Okay, I guess very awkward like pick me up, I guess. Okay.
How do you pick her up, Temple? Is it up onto your back or over shoulder fireman style, or grab onto her legs and sack of potatoes over the shoulder, or
No, like over both shoulders, but like
Like how a kid would sit on their parents' shoulders?
A kid would sit on their parents' shoulders, yes. So you're really high
So the legs down here.
Yeah, okay, I get you.
Oh, this is awkward.
Is it actually possible to get out of the temple area into the woods, or is there a wall?
There's a fence, but like you could go through the gate that you like went through to then proceed northbound. There's no wall or anything. Like if you look at your map, the wall of Whitestone does go down like that. But this area here is not walled off, so you could go through the gate and then just head straight northbound.
If Tara's just going to change straight into a wolf and just disappear into the forest.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys watch as Nethitari well shapes into the form of a wolf, takes off towards the in the north where you pointed out Victorlas, hops over the fence, and starts trying to follow Barkley and the direction that Victorlas pointed out. Nethitari, go ahead and roll me. Let's see what you're going to be rolling as you are now a wolf. Go ahead and roll me a D20 plus 3 at advantage, please. As you're perceiving, you're trying to smell the ground in the air to follow the scent of Barkley or the other beastie that you've spotted before with your doggo nose. On a 12, unfortunately not. You take off, leaving your companions long behind with your much faster speed of being a wolf. You're not able to track where Barkley and the other creature has disappeared to into the Timberland, the Parchwood Timberlands.
As Nethitari runs off as a wolf into the woodland, could I cast Hunter's Mark on him?
You can do so, yeah.
So just a first level Hunter's Mark on Nethitari.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah, so expend your
Yes.
spell slot.
Yep, done.
And yeah, you guys following like abruptly and urgently after Nethitari as he takes off as a wolf.
I would have had my connection with Barkley going, so I'm kind of just like they're just like, hanging on.
And yeah, so you're perceiving through Barkley, yeah?
I swear to God, if I catch a low branch, I'm done.
I'll be leading ahead because we're going into woodland and I
Yeah.
know my way around.
Cool.
So I'll keep an eye out for high branches.
And like, are you going to use your short swords to like cut them down?
Yeah, I'll cut stuff down if it's in the way.
Cool. Yeah, no problem. And so you're cutting
Earlier, would you like a sword to relentlessly wave in front of you?
You're
No
already
response.
perceived. Yeah, no response. She's like, as you kind of look up to her, like kind of like lean over and look up to her face. You can just see her eyes have gone like a pearly white color as she's perceiving through Barkley at the moment.
Cool.
So Victorious, go ahead and roll me a survival check at advantage with your +5 to your natural explorer, because it is survival checks, right? Or
Yeah, so
wisdom
that'll
check
be-
related to it, and survival is wisdom. Yes. So 23, that is 28. Yeah, you're able to track the paw prints of Nethitari as you're giving chase. You're moving quite swiftly. You're not able to really keep up because of like the massive difference in speed between humanoids and a wolf. Nethitari, how long are you going to go before you stop, or are you just going to keep going until you find something?
Yeah, just keep going. I think.
Keep going until you stop, until you find something. All right, cool. Go ahead and call high or low.
Hi. Keep going until he's exhausted.
And high or low one more time, please. Okay. You run for what seems to be about an hour before you finally catch on to something. And that is the subtle scent of Barkley as hanging in the air. And as the rest of the party has been following on for about an hour, the sunlight is starting to break through the canopy of the Parchwood Timberlands. It's like the sunlight is starting to go like a deep orange color. The sun is like it's slowly getting into the later afternoon. But Carolina, as you're perceiving through Barclay, you watch as he slowly comes to a hover, perches up on a tree, and glances around. You do see something like on the ground below him. It's bipedal in nature. Ripped clothes are adorned on it. Grey fur covers its body. Kind of glances around and takes a big sniff of the air through its dog-like muzzle. Glances up to Barclay and looks at Barclay with piercing crimson red eyes. It lunges up and your connection to Barclay is severed.
Oh no, this is bad. Kind of like jerk back to my sense. They found Barkley.
They found.
There's one, but I have to resummon Barkley. But I think I've got a general idea. I think.
You know where it is.
I think so. I can kind of retrace Barkley's steps, but yeah.
Neftari, go ahead and roll me a survival check, please. Survival check, and that'll be at advantage.
Would Barclay have made a sound as he was chomped by a nasty wolf thing?
Yeah, did we get a Bloodhawk scream? Barkhelm scream?
At the distance that you guys were at, no.
Okay.
I'm thinking more Neftari than us, but
yeah, no, even Neftari.
It depends whether he's even close or not.
Neftari, even Neftari, no. And even on a 20, there are no signs of this beast. The only thing that you can smell as of now is a lingering scent of Barclay. You kind of train your senses and come to what looks to be a broken branch about 15-20 feet up a tree. The scent ends there, but there's no sign of the beast or Barclay or anything. About half an hour later, Coralina, Victorlus, Temple, Talar, you guys finally catch up to where Neftari is as a wolf. Very deep into the Parchwood Timberlands.
As from me looking through Barclay's eyes?
Like you glance up and you can see the branch and kind of recognize the tree that he'd sat on. You look over and you can see the scuffle on the ground where the beast was and where it took off and struck at Barclay. But this is where the beast was last seen. And
do I sense Barclay's presence at all with him being my familiar?
No, I had nothing.
Oh fuck.
You got to Barclay.
Yeah.
I told him to be careful.
His pride be damned. I mean, I can get him back.
Can I check the site? I want to see if there's any like fur that's kind of come off the animal on the branches that have been broken.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a survival check.
That thing was really weird. It was like on 2 feet, red eyes, kind of wolf-like, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm just
you
trying to find a better way to track it.
I look up at where the tree branch once was. Apparently had a good jumping height.
As you take a look around, Victorlus, you are able to find what looks to be claw marks and very large paw prints on the ground. You can see what looks to be grey matted fur, like some shreds of it on the ground that you're able to like pick up and investigate. And glancing over, you can see what looks to be several deep gouges into the stump where the branch had been broken that Coralina looked up to, which looked to be very deep claw marks through the tree.
Can I change back into Neftari now?
You can if you wish to.
Yeah. I can't smell anything. All I can smell is Barclay.
Can I offer up the fur from this creature to Neftari to sniff?
Yeah, you can if you like. Do you smell it, Neftari?
Yeah, but Neftari again. So
Yeah, I know. Do you smell it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me a survival check.
How long are we standing in this, I guess, area?
You've been in this area for about 5 minutes.
Okay. I mean, if we're staying stationary for a minute while we're trying to regroup, I'll ritual cast to summon Barkley again.
Yeah, it takes 10 minutes for you to a ritual cast as a wizard. So, in the meantime, Neftari, you take a smell, and it's a very musky scent that's on the fur. You kind of try and mimic what you would do as a wolf or a dog, and smell the air, and like actually drop down onto all fours and start smelling the ground, trying to pick up something, anything. But you can't pick up a thing. It's almost like this creature has actually just vanished into thin air.
it's as if it's invisible. There's no trace.
But there would be tracks if it was invisible. It would still leave a footprint.
I'd be assessing for threats in like the tree line and things like that while anyone else is making decisions.
Yeah.
Well-
Go ahead and roll me a perception check, Temple.
With my passive investigation of a 24, is this thing like from seeing the claw marks and all that, it doesn't look like it's very subtle.
It's not. It seems to be quite rabid, out of control.
So, we just lost Alar. What the fuck?
Yep. Bye, Talar.
Well, if it's not very subtle, we should be able to track it, no problem. I'm not very good at it. That's why I have Barkley.
I couldn't track it. I was a wolf. It's the best creature there is for tracking creatures through forest. I could track the thrill of the hunt is. It's
It is.
I live for that, and I couldn't track it.
Well,
Same
this
with
is
being-
my environment. I mean, I can't see. I mean, this is what my next question, DM. Can I see from where I can see clearly where this thing landed on the ground? From that point onward, can I see footprints? Can I see disturbance to the wood floor?
Actually, as you scan the area, from what Coralina pointed out to you, after the creature jumped and struck at Barkley, you look at the base of the tree, and there are no prints on the ground. It did not land on the ground. Temple, on your 10, you don't see anything up in the tree, in the tree, no creature in the tree, but as you glance around, you can see similar looking breakages and branches that are taking off even further to the north.
I can see signs of something running off in that direction.
It went up
It
into
climbed.
the canopy.
Well,
what it
that's
looks like.
slightly terrifying. I haven't learned yet if I'm any good at climbing.
Neftari, how do you feel about turning into a squirrel?
Is that
vulnerable.
necessarily a good idea?
What? Why? Can't he already climb trees?
Hell yeah.
That's not only redundant, but dangerous. Then again, they'll never suspect a squirrel. Maybe he'll eat the squirrel, and then Neftari will
Yeah.
attack from within.
No.
Genius.
It's an option, I suppose.
That's not how it
Quickly,
works.
someone turn me into a squirrel.
No.
All right, so what's the
Uh,
plan?
Have I resummoned Barkley?
Yeah, I'd say it's been about 10 minutes as Temple has pointed out this the broken branches that are higher up in the canopy.
As soon as Barkley is summoned, I kind of like offer like a little bit of a bird hug of like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you got attacked.
Told you to be
Ah.
careful, Sparkly.
Absolute bastard! I was trying to be careful, I will have you know. I am quite adept at remaining silent. I'm well trained in being able to adhere to my own altitude without needing to adjust too much. I was extremely quiet, but that thing
I
still
like to
able
think
to
Barkley
spot
is
me.
still being spicy amid of a tiny bird hug.
Yeah, he is. Like, he's kind of like hugging. You're. It's against his will, if anything. You're just holding on to him and hugging him, and he's just putting up with it at the moment. It's not returned. The hug
I
isn't
understand.
returned, but it's not like he's not trying to get out of
I don't think Barkley ever reciprocates a hug.
No, absolutely not.
It's like giving a cat a really tight squeeze. They just look
Yeah.
at you. They go, "I don't really like this, but I'll let you do it."
Yeah.
You can all see something you've never seen before, and that is Temple visibly shaking as he resists the urge to hug Sir Barkley.
I'm just glad you're okay. Do you think you can go back out? I know that's a terrible thing to ask.
Oh,
but-
please, my lady. Of course, I don't feel pain. It's just merely a minor inconvenience that it was able to either see me or smell me out and struck me down. It's a minor inconvenience.
Well, I mean, what? Neftari was able to smell you, so I mean, if you find the thing, can you let us know that you found the thing and then get the fuck out of there?
I can most certainly try to, if that is your wish.
Yep. He's in the trees, by the way. So
Oh.
just be aware.
So Barkley,
Even
if you
better.
see the thing, fly high, higher than he can jump, and keep
Oh.
yourself safe.
I will most certainly try to.
Can I don't know if I can do this actually. Can I cancel my Hunter's Mark on Neftari and cast it on Sir Barkley?
You can, but it will take you another spell slot to do so.
Yep, that's fine. First level.
Because with Hunter's Mark,
It
no
only
pun
moves boop Neftari unconscious.
Yeah, if you drop, you'd have to drop Neftari 0 hit points.
Yeah, no,
in
that's
order
fine.
to use it as a bonus action without using the spell slot. So yeah, you can mark Barkley, and he takes off. Like you let him go, Carlina, from your hug, and just hold him on your forearm. He kind of just ruffles his feathers at you, like, "It will be done, my lady." Hops and turns around on your forearm, and just takes off and soars up higher into the trees. Are you guys wanting to follow along, or are you just staying where you are?
I'm going to be following along.
Yep, we'll follow.
Okay. You continue along. You're still able to track Barkley. Go ahead and roll me a survival check, Victorious, at advantage to keep following and to keep tracking Barkley. 25. Yeah, I know you're able to
30.
like you've 30. Sorry, yeah, you've got that with the magical connection from your mark. You're able to track him, no problem. Are you going to be perceiving through him again, Carolina?
Yeah, sure. I'll just, motion for Temple to pick me up again.
Mm-hmm. Another piggyback. Well, another shoulder ride.
Yep, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Just please give me a shake before something happens, please. Thank you.
And you perceive through Barkley, and you watch as it takes off into the distance, high up into the tree line, almost brushing the canopy. Managing to potentially track the creature.
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys are following, you watch as Barkley, you watch as Barkley abruptly slows down, using his wings to air brake and slows down, perches up onto a branch, and you watch him glance down to what looks to be a cave formation of sorts.
I think he found him.
Kind of looks down. You still
Looks like
perceiving. You see what looks to be
I'm still talking though. I don't.
Yeah, I know, but
I can still talk to him.
I know. You perceive lots of gouges in the dirt and in the stone, blood, fur, tattered clothing scattered around this area. Barkley kind of swoops down onto the ground next to a tree, kind of hops out from behind and looks deep into the cave, and you hear a very guttural growling noise before Barkley immediately takes off starts flying up towards the
We found
canopy.
him.
Takes off towards the canopy. Through Barkley, you can hear the snapping of branches and growling and snapping and snarling behind him.
Is it chasing him? Is it chasing him?
You can assume that. Give me one moment,
All right, let's go.
please.
Let's go. Let's go.
Uno momento, por favor. Yeah, as he takes off to the canopy, your connection is severed once again.
God damn it! I just kind of like, go back into myself. God fucking damn it! And I kind of like just rap slightly on Temple's shoulder. I am so sorry.
It's okay. I'm sure you were talking about one of the other.
That really
male
fucking
gods.
hurt though.
Anyway, let's get you down. We should be ready for combat now.
Can I start dashing now at this point? Because I obviously know almost exactly where Sir Barkley would have been.
You know where he was when he died.
But I'm gonna attempt to sprint through the forest as best I can.
And roll me a flat survival check, please. You still get your +5. You're not getting advantage anymore because your hunter's mark is gone. 23. It takes you another 15 minutes to half an hour of running with your companions just behind you as you lead them towards this cave entrance. You can see the claw marks, the dried, coagulated blood that's on the forest floor that trails into the cave. Same looking grey fur that dots around the entrance with tarred clothing around it. Seems that this is where the lycanthrope goes to rest, or this might be its den. As you take a listen, silence from within.
So, have we been travelling in the forest now? So, if that took half an hour or so, have we been travelling here for more than an hour?
About an hour, yeah.
So, if I'm separated from the party, I basically am stealthed automatically. Natural Explorer allows me.
I'm reading it.
Stealthily at a normal pace while alone.
While alone, but you weren't alone. Your companions were following you.
How far away from them do I have to be considered alone? That's why I wanted to sprint off. I wanted to try and basically run far enough away from them so that I could stealth myself into the forest, track this place.
I wish you'd explain that, because Temple wouldn't have let you do that. Temple would be running right on.
Yeah, that you should have explained that.
With a fireman's lift on one side and maybe a Neftari on the other, with I'm sure to laugh lying right behind.
It's fine if everyone's going to automatically run after me, then that's not really an option. All it was just Vic has these ideas in his head and he just goes.
Yeah, if you'd mentioned that to begin with, then we probably would have gotten away with that. But because you didn't mention your natural explorer to begin with, your companions are basically right behind you. You won't be automatically at stealth, I'm afraid. So your difficult terrain doesn't slow your travel. You can't become lost. You remain alert to danger even when you're engaged in another activity now. You'd still find twice as much food while foraging, and while tracking creatures, you can learn the exact number, sizes, and how long ago they pass through the area. That all still applies, but the stealth, the automatic stealth, does not. Well, it's not automatic stealth. You can move stealthily at a normal pace if you choose to. You'd have to go to a slow pace normally. But
so, all I'm relying on then here is the fact that I am trying to track this werewolf, and I'm hoping that my natural explorer ability will give me a chance to work out what the fuck's going on.
Yes. Go ahead.
Given the circumstances, I love the idea of a fireman's lift, Coralina over one shoulder, Neftaria over the other shoulder, and just an hour of running.
I don't think Coralina would actually be
Just
fireman's.
the awkward conversation between them.
I don't think Coralina would be fireman and lift over your shoulder now, since Barclay's gone. She's no longer perceiving through him, so she'd probably be off of you and run
I know, but it'd be
outside.
fun.
Unless I manhandle to stay up top.
Right, you two took it out. Yep. Neftari is still sort of semi in wolf mode. He's not wolf shape anymore, but he's still thinking like a wolf. And the thrill of the hunt, running through the forest. Every now and again, he's going to drop down to all fours and run on all fours.
The wind through his fur.
Coralina.
Precisely, that's a.
Talar can move. Coralina, Talar can move faster than any of us can, and I don't suffer the effects of exhaustion. So, would you like a lift?
Sure. I mean, that can give me time to cast a spell. I mean, it's in a cave, so there's earth around it. So, cave in?
Excellent. Let's go.
All right. So,
Right. So, what are you guys doing now?
Have
me
we
know when
all
you get
met up
close.
at the cave?
Yeah, you're
Like,
just
we're
outside
all
the cave.
running.
You're now outside the cave. You can see everything that was there before: the matted grey fur, the claw marks, the blood, the clothes.
I'll blow for my conjure elementals. Can we get Cliff back?
You can get Cliff back. Yes.
Yay, Cliff!
Yay!
He kind of just bursts out of the ground a little bit. Hey,
Yeah. Well, he doesn't
quietly,
burst, but
quietly.
yeah, he slowly emerges. Like you can, with your arcane know-how, you're able to like kind of direct that. You need to be quiet across to him before he emerges. So he slowly emerges from the ground and just like shifts up to where you are, and like takes a subtle step next to you.
Right. Go back under the ground, and then go in that cave. Figure out how many of them there are. Because we've only seen one, and it'd be terrible if it's a whole pack, right?
Of course. Burrows underground, land
He really
striding.
needs to get more saddle.
Moves out through the ground. You can't really see or hear him. All you heard was him dig into the ground, but land stride is actually really quiet. Give it about
And that's why you keep Earth Boyos.
10 minutes, 10-15 minutes before there's a rumbling at your feet and Cliff slowly emerges. Lots. Many. Not moving. Blood. Everywhere.
Was there one, like, moving around, or...
No.
Okay, was there one bigger than the other ones, or...
No.
Oh,
All
God.
similar size.
How
Some
many?
small. Some tall. 20. 30.
Yes, we may be in trouble.
What's he say?
You
There
can
may be-
understand him. He's speaking in primordial.
Oh,
you
of
can-
course, yeah. Okay.
You can speak. You can understand him, Vic.
There could
What-
be...
what's he
He
saying?
couldn't discern how... He couldn't discern any size differences, but he says there's a lot of them not moving.
But
20
does he
to
know the
30?
difference between a race? Are these all wolves or are these people?
Living and dead, perhaps?
I don't look, I don't know. He just used his tremor sense. It's not as accurate, but it's better than us poking our heads in and saying, "Hi guys."
I mean, I
We
can
could
do
try
that.
that.
How
They-
many alive? None?
He said there was some what, he said what, there was some dead?
No,
Someone moving?
he said there were none moving.
None of them were moving, so is that thing still out on the hunt, you think? Or cuz it was chasing Barkley and then
Well, there's one way to find out. Set a little trap.
All right. So what are you
Right.
guys
Can't-
doing?
Eftari, do you want to be the bait?
No.
Oh, I mean, what? It's like a wolf, right? So it eats meat, right?
Yeah, we just need something for it to hunt.
How about a steak? Huh?
A nice big bloody steak.
Yeah, as Coralina just conjures a massive steak in her hands. What is it, 10 pounds? Coralina?
10 pounds.
Yeah, a 10-pound steak in her
Like
hands.
this?
Wait a minute. That's not actually a bad idea. Just walking in and saying hi. Actually, most werewolves I've met have been, all right.
I mean,
Coralina, now's not the time for a snack.
I like mine a little bit more cooked than this. Not much, but at least a little.
Well, if anything's going to entice it back, this should.
I mean, I don't deal with animals that much, so I mean, there's like 3 F's that animals go for? Food, fighting, and fornication.
Well, we're likely to see 2 out of those 3. I'm going to take the steak if I can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take one of my arrows and I'm going to nail it to the nearest tree. Just let it hang there.
Okay. The moment you stab it with your arrow, it disappears.
I mean, you should have just left it on the ground.
What?
Yeah,
What?
you should have just left it on the ground. Just
If we'd had that cooked, how would I have cut that?
you don't.
Right, so
Why do you think I keep
steaks
so
off
many
the
tasty?
menu.
They're small, easy to carry, and they're
Yeah,
delicious.
of course. Okay, I apologise. I'll take my arrow back out of the tree, put it back in my quiver.
I mean, do you just want to lay it in front of the lair and just
Sure, put it on the ground.
Boop. There
lay
is
it
a
down?
10-pound steak in front
And
of
what, we
the
just-
cave.
And what, we just hide?
You all
I'm
going
just
to
gonna
hide?
cut my hands over my mouth. Here, boy. Here, boy. Boop, 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 boop. Here.
Oh no.
I think someone's knocking on.
Yeah, something's.
Are you rolling for every single one of the creatures in there to see if they wake up? Oh Jesus, what have I done?
I would like to use my hide in plain sight to spend a minute
I'd
creating
like to
camouflage for myself from naturally
I'm
occurring
a-
materials.
I'm gonna stand near a rock next to me because I'm
You know,
Lara's
th-
backing
this-
into the trees and collapsing
one
her wings
thing-
as close against her as you can.
The one thing that I
I'm looking for a
absolutely
place
love
to
about
Misty
being a
Step too.
DM is the fact that anytime I roll at any point, it doesn't matter if it could be for absolutely anything, but it immediately incites panic amongst the players because they have
Yep.
no idea what I'm rolling for.
But you went
and I
rolling.
love it.
That was more than a roll. That was an avalanche of dice.
Oh yeah, that was an avalanche of dice because from what Coralina and Victorious have relayed to you, there is 20 to 30 beings inside this cave, and you just went, "Here, boy, here, boy," and called out
We're
to this
enticing a
werewolf.
out. It's friendly
Or
werewolf.
30 of them.
Everyone, go ahead and roll me stealth checks. If
Oh,
you're
I love
trying,
these. I'm really
if you're
good at
trying,
these.
if you're trying to hide, roll me stealth checks. Like right meow. Victorious, you're going to get advantage because you've used your hide in plain sight.
Can I panic and try to find a place to Misty Step too?
You could Misty Step to the that's a natural 20, Victorious. You
I'm
can Misty
Batman.
Step. You're not Batman. You Misty Step up to the like up to the branches or something like that. But there's nothing, no real secluded area for you to hide in with a Misty Step.
What? Can I just prepare it just in case?
What's the worst that could happen?
Nethtaria, are you trying to be stealthy?
So Neftari drops to all fours and tries to eat the steak.
as you kind of
Excellent.
as your wolf instincts kind of take over, you walk over to it, just munch and start eating this
I can
steak.
feed you later.
I take one step to the right, closer to the wall.
With that,
That's
as-
my power, isn't it? I go invisible.
in Neftari, as you start eating the steak, as you kind of glance up, go ahead and roll me a perception check. In fact, everyone, go ahead and roll me perception checks.
It's okay. They're all bottlenecked in the entrance of the cave. They'll have to get in a queue.
Do I get advantage on
15.
percep?
You get your +5 to it. You don't get advantage.
Okay.
That's
would
another
have to
natural 20. That's 2 in a row. That's 2 in
He
a
is
row.
Batman.
He's not Batman. Fuck off.
He's Batman.
So 11, 15, 19, 12, and a 36. As you guys are set up and like watching Nithari kind of munch on the steak that Coralina has summoned, the instincts, the remnants of his woven instincts still kicking in. Victorious and Temple, you guys hear a very loud growling. Sounds like it's coming from multiple sources. Coming from directly behind you all. And that's where we're going to call tonight's session.
Whoa!
Oh,
As you guys have just been ambushed. Oh, that fucking sucks. You guys are
you idiot.
you guys were going to like the natural explorer. You guys like weren't like you remain alert to danger even when you're engaged in other activity. With the panic that was just ensued right there of, oh fuck, that temple just caused? No, gone. Instantly, that panic, you're no longer focused on what's around you. You're focused on what may potentially come rushing out from in front of you. You just let your guard down.
And it's all worth it because Temple gets inspiration for remaining in character.
No. Temple's gonna
Thank you,
die.
Temple.
Temple's
Worth a
gonna
try.
die next time in turning combat because he's about to get swarmed by X amount of things.
Well, that
Literally,
depends how.
The best environment I can hope to be in one of these situations. And it's all gone fucking down the toilet.
Yep, you're the best place that you could possibly be in for the best situation, and Temple's fucked it.
It's not like the DM's gonna summon like, a huge.
Don't give him
swarm
ideas.
of
Shut
them.
up, shut up, shut up,
Oh,
shut up.
okay.
Yeah,
I would like the 20 to 30 unmoving things to be like little werewolf puppies, where it's just adorable. Like comes out, it's just an avalanche.
there's
of
like
them.
just an avalanche of werewolf puppers coming running out the cave,
Oh
and they
my
just
God.
like
That's what
pile
happened.
on top of you and
Death by
start,
kisses.
yeah,
That's
just
what'll
start
happen
licking your
if we're
face.
running late. If we're running late next week and Scott hasn't prepared a battle map, that's what'll happen.
Oh no, I'll have a battle map
Pu-
prep. Don't you
puppy-
worry.
Puppy slobber.
Yeah, you just die from werewolf kisses.
Yes.
Absolutely. No, wait, I'm allergic to adorableness. But anyway, with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Any comments or concerns with tonight's session? Other than the
Y'all made
massive
that
amount of
awkward.
bullshit that came up this morning. Oh, the first thing.
Yeah, the first thing, y'all made that way too fucking hard on yourselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Oh,
Neftari
fuck,
managed to
she's been
fall out of a
kidnapped.
fucking window. Oh god, she's been kidnapped. Let's not actually check the rest of the room and maybe walk in
Where's
on her.
Coralina? Where could Coralina be? Oh, there's no fucking doors in here. Like I wouldn't check a door.
I mean,
Besides, we needed.
you
we
didn't
needed
strictly
the
say
team-
that. You said that once you couldn't see Coralina with the window open, that you run out of her bedroom saying that Coralina's gone. You didn't look anywhere else. That is not my fault.
Well, either
No,
this is a horse now. everybody.
no,
Give me some
no.
blinders.
No,
I can only
that's
see forward.
not my
wouldn't.
fault. Yes, let's go
Fan
with
service was clearly
that.
avoided.
This is selective perception.
Selective perception is you completely ignore the bathroom door that was left unlocked. It could have been a very awkward situation when someone walks in and just looks in at the completely naked, unmoving, fully submerged body of Coralina in a bath. But no, we avoided that completely by Neftari managing to fall out of a fucking window. Anyway, if no other issues with tonight's session at all?
No.
You know when Neftari was looking at the dagger and his reflection in it?
Yeah.
I'm going to start making Sir Barclay's voice. When Sir Barclay goes, "You're an imbecile," or whatever. Just
You are a Neanderthal, thank you very much.
Talas or Coralina's boobies?
No.
No.
She stayed turned away, remember?
Yeah, she turned away, so no. Coralina was actually able to maintain her decency this entire session.
Is that something you roll for? Roll decency.
No, you roll hotness.
No, yeah, you roll a d20 to see how hot you are.
Is that charisma?
No, it's just a flat d20. But anyway, if there's no other comments or concerns, yeah, Temple, you're ugly as fuck.
Woo!
You are fugly. It's best to put a bag over your head.
It's because I'm 7 foot tall and 500 pounds, is it?
Yeah, you're fucking fat, my guy.
Everybody roll.
It's okay, your wizard just rolled a fucking 19.
Yeah, Coralina's quite fit.
Hacks.
Alright, let's see what.
Neftari is not that bad. Yeah, Victorious looks pretty fucking good.
Oh dear me. Anyway.
It's that elven bone structure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dem
I mean,
cheekbones.
elves always look pretty, right?
Dem cheekbones. Talar, do you want to roll as well? Since everyone else
what is
has.
this for?
Roll
I'm
a d20. Roll a d20 to see how hot Talar is.
Oh God.
Everyone else has. So I mean, why not?
Great.
It's like we've added a new stat.
I mean,
Custom stat.
yeah. I mean, you're draconic. Oh
Most
god.
people
It's an acquired taste.
Evelyn's
Quite
lagging
scaly.
quite badly, unfortunately. But yeah,
Well,
you're
okay,
scaly.
so
You're draconic.
Talar is also like a tiger mom, so it's like she's hot, but like she's scary.
Yeah,
So like you wouldn't want to tangle with that.
people. I mean, people have got their taste in draconics, and so there'll be people out there that would find you attractive, but the attitude probably needs some work. But anyway, with that, we are going to call tonight's session here because that is 20 to 12 in the morning. I'm going to have to go to bed soon because I've got work in the morning. I'm pretty sure I'm on open. Let me quickly go and double check this. So I think I'm in at 6:30 in the morning. Yes. So I'm going to call an end to the session here. We will pick up again next week. We'll have a battle map. You guys will be able to get ready to roll initiative. And you guys will miss out on your first round of combat because you'll all be surprised. Way!
Shit.
But
Wait,
anyway,
I said I prepared a Misty Step. Do I still
I'm
get that?
I'm stealthed as fuck, so I'm
You're-
just staying where I am.
I mean, your stuff
I'm-
is fucked. We'll wait and see how that goes.
I'm shiny.
Do I
You
get
are
my prepared
very
Misty Step?
shiny. You might. We will wait and see.
Might, okay. Might's better
There's
than
no
no.
guarantee. Yeah, because that's you maybe guess it. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to go and quickly double check on some categories and see if there's anyone alive at the moment that we can go and host that is also playing some D&D. Anyway, I hope everyone has enjoyed, and we will catch you guys next week for the next session of Dragons and Dungeons. Bye.
Hooray!